What's up, chat? How's everyone's day going? I'm super excited for the stream. We're gonna have some fun today. So last stream we played not last stream before that, we played the Classrooms, the horror game. We got 3 levels in that we could beat, and then we got stuck on the 4th level, but we know how to do it now, so we're fucking locked in, okay? So we go do the 4th level today. We're gonna get our get back, and then we're gonna end the stream with some reactions after that. So we're gonna have some fun. How's everyone's day going? Also, another thing that I did, hold on, let me find it. I just got back from work. I wasn't late today, but yo, I've deadass been late to work like 5 times. I've only been working there like 2 months. Look, this isn't my first time doing this job. Like, I've been doing this job for like 2 years, but I transferred to a different location. This place that I'm at now, I deadass been late like 5 times. I've only worked there 2 months. But luckily I'm a demon on the bar, so I have like a little bit of immunity. But also, like, I don't want to be late, you know? Like, I'm not like trying to be late. I'm just being late. But also everyone there is also late very fucking frequently. So it's like they just don't care as much, which is so, like, it's not anything close to what my last store was like. But also, I don't want to be late because I hate being late. So I changed my alarm sound to the most annoying compositions of sounds I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Dude, before, I only had, like, the bitch alarm that, like, didn't fucking work ever. So I deadass have 10 minutes for the first 10 minutes where I'm supposed to wake up, which is 4 a.m. I have it for the first 10 minutes. Every single minute. And then after that, I start doing every 2 minutes all the way up to 6 in the morning. But it was only because I had like my shit alarm that never woke me up. So I decided to change my alarm. And believe me, this shit is more effective than coffee. Because it just pisses me off when I hear this fuck ass alarm. But it gets me up, okay? Listen to this shit. It's actually the worst thing ever. Oh my god, it's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying. Dude, it just like pisses me off when I hear it and it gets me up. Bro, I'm deadass just gonna put the phone like 10 feet away from my bed so I have to get up because I click that snooze button still. That's the problem. Dude, when I was with my last alarm, I clicked snooze at, like, I'd wake up at like 4:30, like on time, and then I'd click snooze and I'd wake up at 9 a.m. Like, I just skipped 5 hours, and I'd wake up to a phone call from my shift. And she's like, you were supposed to be here like 3 hours ago. I'm just like, my bad. It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. So I changed my alarm to the worst sound ever. It makes me so mad every time I hear it, but it wakes me up, so it's working. I gotta open this horror game. I got jump scared a lot last time. I don't think I'll get jump scared as much this time, though. Hopefully. Because now I'm like more expecting it. I'm probably still gonna get fucking jump scared. Dude, even when I knew that the doll was fucking... fuck that doll! I'm not ready for that shit. That's in the level that I have to do. Oh my god, it makes me so mad. I hate that fuck ass doll. That doll pisses me off. Is my shit still not plugged in? My headset's not plugged in. Hold on. My headset's about to die. The fuck? Brother! Where the hell did he go? Oh yeah, that shit's gone. That shit's gone. Hold on. I gotta fish it out. That was not what I wanted to do. I deadass just like threw my Steam Deck off my Steam Deck. What the fuck am I saying? I threw my Stream Deck off my desk. Oh my gosh, it's like on the floor now. Now I gotta bring it back up. Okay. Oh, also, I got a new mic, because, oh my fucking god, dude, when I was editing the horror game, I just hear fucking in my ears the whole time I'm editing, dude. It was bad. It was bad. I don't know what I just did with my PC. Okay, no, we're good. I just spammed my keyboard and it opened like 17 applications. Okay, hold on. Oh my god! How did it open that many things? What is Copilot? There's an app I opened just called Run. Should I be worried? Why is it telling me to run? Hold on, I'm opening up the classrooms right now. Yeah, when I was editing the stream of this game, I deadass just heard the keyboard the whole fucking time. It was so bad. I bought a new mic that doesn't hear the keyboard. I'm praying it doesn't hear the keyboard because it's bad. Like, I was playing, like, my Red Dead streams, my Siege streams. The only fucking thing you can hear is this keyboard because of this fuck-ass mic. It picks up too much sound. And you guys can hear my dogs barking, too. Every single time my dogs bark, like, it's so fucking loud. One of the chatters in the classroom stream, they were like, your dog scared the shit out of me because we were playing a horror game. And then my dog's just yapping at nothing. Dude, my dogs deadass just bark at, like, anything that lives. It's so annoying. They bark at fucking everything they see outside. I don't know how we're supposed to get that out of them, low-key. You guys ready for classrooms? I'm hype. This is level 4. We gotta lock in. Hold on, let me change this shit. We're all good. Let me plug in my headset too, because shit's about to die. We just won't have a stream deck for a little bit, which is fine. It's actually not fine, but it's whatever. Story mode. I'm pretty sure it should pick up where we left off. Classrooms, library rooms. Brother, what? Oh, church rooms. This is where we left off. Okay. We're locked in, Mr. Unknown. I'm back, Captain. He's back. Alright, we're locked in. We're level 4, bitch. Let's fucking get our get back. God, I'm not ready to interact with that fuck ass doll. Oh god, I hate that thing. Just thinking about its dumb face is pissing me off. This level's like insanely fucking hard. Like when I was trying to do this level, I couldn't figure it out for so long. I know what I have to do now. I gotta find the basement, cut the breaker, and then get back to that little water room looking shit. But the demon that like chases after you like moves whenever the lights are off, but I only have a limited amount of batteries, so I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do this. Because there's like little 5-second increments where I deadass have to run with no sight. Also, it seems you made it without me. You're a big G. Oh yeah, no, I'm a fucking baller. Dude, I destroyed that 3rd level. Alright. Lock in. We're also going to do some reactions later too. So we're going to play this for about maybe 2 hours, and then we're going to do reactions for however long that takes. I don't have any videos yet though. Low key, let's send a double agent. We got to hit up Tanner real quick. Hold on. Alright, I said I needed YT videos. Tanner's recommended is fucking elite for reactions, bro. I'm telling you. I like the past 3 reaction streams I've done, deadass just texted him and was like, get me YouTube videos, and every single time he cooks, bro. I'm telling you. I forgot about this shit, that it takes fucking forever to load. What's my...
Battery fully charged.
You're fucking lying. You just said low battery, ho. What do you mean fully charged? Alright. Calm down. We get it. Let me push this back. Yeah, so I got a new mic so that there's no battery fully charged. Yeah, I like that it plays into the stream too. I also got the new mic so that there's not like some clicky clacky the whole fucking stream, bro. Cause that is a very big problem. Every single stream I do, there's always like keyboard sounds constantly the whole time I'm playing a game. So I bought a whole new mic with noise canceling, so that's not a problem anymore. Yeah, the audio is so clean. No, this mic isn't. This mic has good audio. The only problem, it just doesn't have like noise canceling the same way that the mic that I'm getting does. I just ordered it. It's not in yet. But this mic picks up really well, but there's no noise cancellation, so it picks up everything around it. So it sounds nice, but there's too many fucking background sounds. And that's the problem. So I bought another mic to see if that's any better. And if it's not, then sucks to suck. Yeah. But I do like this mic though, which kind of sucks. Especially because this mic was like $100. And the audio's good. There's just too much background sound. And that's the problem. You just said fully charged, bitch.
Battery 10%.
Oh, you're fucking with me. Oh, you're fucking with me. And now the white screen. All right, we're in. Let me plug in my headset. Fucking stupid ass. God, this shit's annoying. Fine. No stream deck. No stream deck. Fine. Oh God. Okay. We're definitely gonna get scared today for sure. How many batteries do I have? 17. We're chilling. We're chilling. Oh, I hate this room. Isn't this the one where the doll, like, jump scared me 3 times? Ugh, motherfucker. Can I go down? Like, there's a little drop off over there. Let's go, Captain. Real shit. There's a little drop off over there. I don't remember if I can, like, jump. I don't think I can jump down it. I don't like that I'm lagging. I'm not a fan of that. Oh, there's nothing in this room. Dude, I forget that you can, like, turn lights off. But also, oh my God, I'm so fucking over that shit. I hear it laughing. Fucking asshole. It's walking. Where are you? I hear it walking, but I don't see it. More batteries. We need those. We need those. We need those. Ugh, you're so ugly. Like, do you have to be ugly? Like, you couldn't, like, at least be a little normal looking? Oh, we're already on bullshit. Close the door. We're already on bullshit. Hold on, hold on. No, we're kind of locked in, though. We're kind of locked in, though. Hey, old friend. Oh, yeah, don't even interact with that piece of shit. Oh, yeah, so the guy's definitely down there. Hey, baby, if you don't mind. Oh, Jesus, that was fast. Wait, I thought it couldn't. Okay, so I gotta turn on the lights. So it can't move if the lights are on, right? Isn't that like the thing? Like it can't move if the lights are on? I don't know. How? Should we look it up real quick? Should we cheat? I might cheat. Because I want to know how to not dot what just happened. So that's the face demon. He doesn't have very much depth to him. I'm pretty sure he's in 2D. But he, like, when the lights are on, I don't think he can attack me. I think that's, like, his thing. But also, I'm not really sure. I didn't finish the previous stream. Yeah, the VOD's up now. Or the edited version's up, actually, on my main channel. So you can go watch that. But this level, like, it's fucking, there's the doll, obviously, that stupid little shit. God, I hate that thing. And then there's like this 2D face. I'm pretty sure it can't move if the lights are on. So I gotta make sure to turn all the lights on. But also, like, I have to turn off the breaker too. Like, that's the part that I'm struggling with. Because it can't move if the lights are on. But then I also have to turn off the breaker in order to get back to the exit. So I don't know how I'm supposed to do it after I turn off all the lights. Also, I've been waiting you yesterday. Why didn't you come? Oh, yesterday I was editing the 1.5-hour stream, so I wasn't able to stream that day. But I gotta, yeah, it's the timing, like making sure that I have enough time to do the editing and the streaming is super difficult. But I have to just like time it better because it's not working out right now. But I wasn't able to stream yesterday. Yeah, because the super long streams that I edit, like whenever we play Siege or something for like 2 hours, those streams are super difficult to edit. Just because they're long streams, so it takes a while. But the horror game video that I edited, deadass took me like 2.5 hours. But it was only a 1.5-hour stream or something like that. All right, lock in. It gets rid of my battery. Oh, is this the same room? Is this the same one? Oh, it's not the same one. Okay. That's alright, though. Alright, this is the room we gotta get to. Alright, so this is the room we gotta get to. I need to cut off the power.
Fried. I need to cut the power off somehow.
Okay, so I wonder if the face demon can get me if I'm in the vents. Maybe that's the method. Maybe that's the method. Okay, normally these rooms don't mean anything. Yeah, they're always... Oh, there's a door. I take it back. Gotta turn all the lights on. I'm not trying to get diddied. Alright, this didn't go anywhere. That was useless. Fuck you. Stay safe. I'll be back. Oh, okay. I hate you. Like, my hatred for you grows every time I hear that fuck-ass piano sound. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. God, you're so ugly. You're so ugly. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid bitch. Yeah, now you gotta walk through 2 doors. How you feel? How you feel about that? Fucker. Yeah, what now? What now? What now? Dumb bitch. God, I hate it. I hate it so much. I get it. I get it, okay? I get it. Alright, so I think I hear the face demon over here. Close the door. Close the door all the way. I don't want that doll chasing me. Dumb fuck. God, I hate that doll. I get it. Alright, so that's definitely where he is. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, the lights are turning off behind me. Or they're turning blue. Ah, he's chasing me. Alright, we closed it. These lights are blue too. I just need the basement. I'm not sure where the basement is. Oh, he reopened the door. How's he doing that? Where is he? I don't see him. Okay, so that's where I came from. So I just did like a big loop. I hear you. So I just did like a big loop. This is just an elevator. This doesn't help me. I need the basement. That's what I need to find. And then I can come back. What's this over here? I've never seen this. It's blue. Why is it blue? Isn't blue the demon color? I still hear the... Oh, he's over there. Hi, buddy. I'm just gonna close this, okay? If you don't mind. They're all flickery. Oh. Dude, I need the basement. Where's the basement at? I see you over there. I just don't really want to interact with you. I'd prefer if you left me alone. I don't think he's gonna leave me alone. That's okay, though. I'm just gonna go back this way, alright? Thank you. Okay, so the basement definitely is this way, then. Right? You're so ugly. You're actually just so fucking ugly. Yeah, keep following me a little bit. That's perfect, thank you. I'm just gonna close this. So was there nothing over here? I feel like there was more doors that I didn't see. Unless I'm just okay, yeah, I'm just completely wrong. I gotta find this basement. I don't... Brother. Don't make the sound, please. You still made the sound. God, you're such an ugly little shit. Oh. Alright, he's trying to come to me right now. Okay, so he just killed my batteries. He's still over there, though. How do I get past him? I don't know how to get past him if he's in front of me. Can I just walk up? I'm just gonna walk in here and see what happens. I need you to stay right there. Why is it opening? It's, oh, that's why. He can open doors? Since fucking when? No one warned me about that. I'm running from him, though. Got him quick. Oh, he's got nothing on me. Oh, I just cornered myself more, though. You don't mind staying over there, do you? Don't open my door, bitch. Okay, so he kills my battery fast. He's gone, right? See, my battery, like, dies down super quick whenever he's with me. So I gotta, like, reload. Okay, okay, okay. Reloaded. Lock in. What's up? You're a little bitch. You know that, though. You're well aware. I've made you so sure of the fact. I'm running. I'm running. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you think about that? Alright. So I gotta fucking explore this way, then. I'm gonna close this. I'm locked in right now. Okay, so there wasn't anything this way. Oh, no, there could have been. There could have been. There could have been. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Pick those up. Hell yeah. I still hear you behind me. You're such a little shit. I low-key did, like... Okay, so he's, like, chasing me right now, kinda. Oh, kind of. Oh, we got some plants over here? Okay. What's this area? I'm fucking with it, whatever it is. Oh, there's nothing there. I just wasted time. Can't be doing that. Reload. We're locked in. Anything this way? Nope, that I already looked there. Alright, so there's nothing over... Oh. See, now that's not good. Wait, I don't see you, though. Oh, you're right there. Okay, so can I close? Lights are on. He shouldn't be able to... What the fuck? How did he do that? Is he just taunting me? Oh. Yeah, I see you, bitch. You ain't slick. Yeah, you ain't slick. You ain't slick. You see that quick-ass reload, motherfucker? Y'all see that quick-ass reload? I need you to not be in here. I need you to not be in this door. I'm gonna close this. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful execution. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Reload. I'm locked in. Oh, my God, I'm locked in. This guy ain't got shit on me. This guy ain't got shit on me. He ain't got shit on me. I hear that bitch-ass doll. Yeah, you ain't nothing to me. You're nothing to me. Okay, that guy is something to me, though. That guy definitely is. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. We running, though. We running, though. We're running, though. We're speed running this shit. Speed running this shit. Speed running. Nope, not that way. Fuck. Lock in. No. No. I need you to fuck off. I need you to fuck off. I need you to fuck off. Yeah, and what? And what? And what? Yeah, you're nothing. You're nothing, pussy. You're nothing. You're nothing. Yeah, you're nothing. I'm so much better than them. God. Ugh, it's unbelievable. I'm so much cooler. I'm just so much cooler. No. Fuck. Is he changing the directions or something? He's changing where I'm supposed to go, swear. Swear he is. Swear he is. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And what? And what? I'm like that. I'm like that. I got jump scared. I don't think I even got jump scared that level. I just pissed on him. You ain't got shit on me. You don't have shit on me. God, I'm so cool. I'm actually so cool. Hold on. God, I just, I breezed through that. Ooh. Okay, now. Ooh, this level is hard. Okay, I just looked up how to do the next level so we don't have to worry about, like, trying to figure the shit out. Because that was my biggest problem last stream, was I was spending way too much time trying to figure it out. We're trying to breeze through them. We're cooking this game. I need a key card, goggles, and like some directions. And then I gotta waterproof my camera, and I gotta get out of that bitch. But I don't know what the demon is in this one. I don't know what it is. It doesn't even matter though. We're gonna fuck it up. We're gonna destroy it. I breezed through that 4th level. That was light work. Who's texting me? Is Tanner? He gave me 2 videos. All right, those are kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. They're kind of tough. Okay. Huh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's lock in. We got some good. We got 2 good videos. I don't know if he's still looking, but we can probably find some on our own. I'm sure we can find some. All right. Give me the next level. We're locked in. I haven't gone jump scared yet, but also I knew it was gonna happen in the 4th level. I have no idea what's going on in this 5th level. I know how to beat it, but I don't know what the demon looks like. Hopefully this dude. Hopefully the doll isn't there. They knew that they were going to be annoying with the doll, so they put it in 2 different levels. They probably put it in more levels because they know that doll's annoying as fuck. So they just kept that shit in. God. He's not even putting up a fair fight. Like, he's just a bitch. He just hides behind me, waits for me to turn around, and then sneaks up on me. Like, what an op. God, I hate that thing. Ugh. And it's ugly. Put me in. Give me the next level. It should take so long. I need to ask Tanner if it took him as long too, or if I'm doing something wrong. I'm probably doing something wrong. It's fine though. I'm gonna look for videos while it does whatever it's doing. What else can we look for? What else? We need some like philosophical shit. Okay, yeah, no, these videos are ass. Is this the right account? It is the right account. Why do these videos suck so... Why the fuck is she on that? Ugh. Oh, Jesus, that's scary. I'm scared. The pool rooms? Oh yeah, we're fucked. The chlorine burns. Alright. What the fuck? Did I just lose? Dang, I didn't even do anything. Oh, it's the mist room. It fucks with my camera. Okay. So I can't go in that room. That would have been fucking nice to know. Stupid. I can't go in that room because my camera breaks, and then I don't get any footage of the back rooms. I can't expose the government. That's why we're here. I gotta find my sister and expose the government for creating this other dimension. I don't actually know if that's part of the plot or not, but it should be, because that'd be tough. Dude, okay, so I just don't even go, I can't go in that room. I have to find, this level's hard. I have to find 3 different things, and then I have to escape. Like, I have to find so much shit for this level. This is gonna be hard. I hope I don't, I hope I don't have to, like, search anything. I don't know what the bad guy looks like in this. What else do we got? The most disturbing US cover-up of all time. Sounds good. Screenshot that. The truth about... I don't care about that. What do we got? Yes, we got a few good options here. So we have 3 videos right now. When did Kai Cenat do ASMR? Ew. Dude, he was just doing anything to fill up the time. What do I watch? This recommended is so bad. Like, this recommended is just what I watch. Like, it's not, this isn't the shit that I can, like, react to. This is just stuff I watch in my free time. Like, none of this is interesting to watch on stream. I've seen, like, 2 videos that might be good. Oh my gosh, this recommended sucks. I swear it's all the same shit. Deadass, 4 RWE games in a row. I'm being so for real. 4 RWE games in a row. And then there's just more above it. Jesus Christ, this is rough. Should I just... I'm just gonna type in, like, keywords. How Congress... Wait, why are politicians so damn rich? It's a Johnny Harris video. We love Johnny Harris. Why USA 1.0 failed. Why the US military spends so much money. That one I will watch in my free time, but I don't think I want to watch that on stream. There's a video called The Entire History of the US, and it's 4 hours long. All right, let's do why USA 1.0 failed. Let's watch that one. Okay, we have some videos. Let's lock in. Me. Oh, whoa! Don't be doing that. Calm down. All right. So this is the room I can't go in. Friend question mark. I'm not your friend. There's a slide. I want to go down the slide. Will I die? Oh. Oh. That's cool. I found the goggles. What's in here? I don't think my camera likes that. Can I go back up that, though? I don't think I can. That may be a problem. What's this? More batteries. Love to see that. Okay, let me make sure my flashlight's off, because it's pretty bright in here. I'm assuming it's gonna get dark real quick. Real quack? What am I saying? I'm assuming it's gonna get dark really quick. I hate this. This is terrible. No way I gotta look in all these. I would actually shoot myself. I'm not. So we're already on bullshit. Oh, that's that thing that I saw. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. Go away. Go away. Is he still behind me? Oh my god! It's still behind me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you. I didn't mean to get in your space. I'm sorry. Is it still behind me? It's probably still behind me. I'm deathly afraid of this thing. Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going back. I swear. I'm going back, I swear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I hate this thing. Does this avoid it? Are you done? Are you done with me? Oh my god, that was terrifying. Okay, I think it's done with me. I think it's done with me. Oh my god, dude, it was right fucking behind me. That scared the shit out of me. Why is this moving now? I'm sorry, camera. I'm sorry. Camera, okay. So, camera doesn't like when I go underwater. I learned that. Camera doesn't like that. I need to get those goggles. And then there's also like a manual I need to get. And then a key card. I don't know what the key card goes to. But I need to get those 3 things. So I have the goggles. I just don't know where anything else is. We gotta keep looking. That worm bitch is scary. That shit, he kept chasing me, dude. So So if I go through the slides, I escape the fucker. We know that now. We know that now. We're locked in. Kind of. What's my headset at?
Battery fully charged.
I know you're fucking lying to me. I know you're lying to me. Wait, maybe if I unplug it. Hold on. Hold on. Talk to me.
Battery fully charged.
No, it's not.
Battery fully charged.
All right, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. If I see those red blinky lights, we gonna have some problems. Okay, Stream Deck's back in. Now we're good. Now we got our shit ready. We're all locked in. I think my mic's getting here either today or tomorrow. We might be testing it out on stream. It's gonna be a bitch to set up though. I promise it will. Let me check my shit. See where it's at. Oh, now it says 28th to the 31st. I love when my shit gets delayed. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. I swear my shit always gets delayed. I don't think I've ever had a package come on time. My shit always gets delayed for some reason. It's pretty fucking annoying, actually. Dude, my friend Tanner knows too. Like, I ordered so many things when, like, me and Tanner would, like, the old Fortnite days, we'd be playing Fortnite all the time and I'd order something. He was there for, like, 3 different delayed shipments, I swear. I swear he was. I don't know why. Everyone I know that orders stuff never gets their shit delayed. Mine's always delayed. Oh my gosh. Ow. Fuck. What the hell was that? What just happened? Did my calf like cramp? What was that? That hurt. Fucking bitch. Ow. This takes way too fucking long to generate. At least the graphics are good. I need some more horror games that are like terrifying. Dude, I don't know. Listen, I've seen some Joe Bart clips of that boy getting like jump scared. I don't know if he's just a bitch or like if I'm just playing the wrong games. I must be playing the wrong games. Cause like I get jump scared, but not like that. Like he's screaming for like 10-second increments when he gets jump scared sometimes. I must be playing the wrong games or something. Or he's just a bitch. I don't know. But, dude, I'm not getting that scared from this. Obviously, that fucking worm bitch scared the shit out of me, though. That thing is terrifying. Okay, that's where I need to go. What's over here? Nothing. Alright, let's do this. I need to go over there. We got a little time. Oh, we got a snack? Hell yeah! Can I eat it? Stink bomb. I stink. Oh, you're pissing me off. It's just rage baiting. Me. What do you mean I stink? What's down here? Death? Is it death? What? Are we fucking dead ass? Did that just kill me? Brother, I thought it was a tunnel! Why did it kill me? Why would they even put that there? They're rage baiting. The game's actually rage baiting. Why, deadass, why would they put that there? I thought it was a tunnel. I've been jumping through, like, slides this whole time. I want to do like a competition where we gotta smoke as we lose. I don't know. Maybe if I did collabs in the future, I could do that. But I definitely want to do like a video game. Like every time we lose, we gotta smoke. I don't know what game though. Maybe like a casino night. That'd be tough. Like a little casino night. And then like we could decide like what you have to do in order to take a drink in the casino night. That'd be tough. Or like hit the wax or something like that. Take a hit out of something. That'd be fun as fuck. If I did like collabs in the future, I could definitely do that. Someone tell me how to make a Discord channel. I need some direction here. I'm deadass just gonna look at you like up a YouTube video because I need a Discord channel for people to send me games. I need some horror games that will make me actually shit my pants. That's what I want. Or like any indie game that I could play once or twice. Send them over, please. I'm begging you because I need some content. Dude, Loki, like games are just kind of ass right now. Like the games that you grind are all kind of shit right now. Like, this new season of Siege might be cool. I'm hoping it is. I think a lot of people are going to come back because of Ranked 3.0. But the game's dying. Like, it is dying. So, and I don't want to bound myself to a game that's, like, on the brink of death. Because if I do get some sort of attraction because of that game, it ties me to that game. Which means that when the game dies, so does my fan base. So I don't want to tie myself to a specific game. I want to play like a bunch of random shit instead of like picking a game and only playing that on stream because that's just not the method. Jinxie is the only one to do it to not fall off. Like all the other people that were bound to Fortnite, I feel so bad for them. Because so many of them fell off afterwards. Some of them just kind of quit halfway through. Where the fuck is Fearless at? That hoe. The people that like bound themselves to Fortnite, they all like fell off. But I mean not all of them. Some of the FaZe members, they got to stay famous, but only because like they got a second chance though, you know? I just don't want to do that. I don't want to accidentally do that to myself. So I don't think the map changes on this one, which is kind of lit. The items might change though. Yeah, I don't think the map changes on this one. Oh no, it definitely does. This is not the same shit. God damn it. Ugh! Why does it have to change? Friend? I don't accept that premise. What do we see? Is that a door? I believe I've heard some footsteps, love. Unless they were mine. They could have very well been mine. We're gonna check out this door. Keys. I don't have them. Okay, so we do have to look for a key. What's in there? This property. Okay. What's that? What's that shadow? There's a shadow. What is that from? Is that a clue? I love clues. It's probably not a useful one though, to be honest. I hate this room. This room is so unsettling. Get in there. Get in there. Alright, so we got our goggles now. No, we don't. Oh, we have our key card. Oh! Slap my tits and call me Sally. What's down there? Okay, so we do need to find a dead body with goggles. Oh, wait, did I just go back down here? Oh my gosh, I did. Brother! What's over here? Okay, so I already went in there. So where do I go? What? Where am I supposed to go then? So, those are my footsteps. Those are loud. Oh my gosh. I hate that. Why are my own footsteps that loud? I don't like you in the slightest. You're kind of weird. You're weird looking. I'm just gonna ignore you for now if you don't mind. He doesn't follow me, right? God, I hope not. Oh, that's a shit ton of batteries. Oh, we love that. Okay, this room's awfully dark. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, so I hate this place. Yeah, I definitely do not like this at all. I want to search all this room, though. That fucking the worm with the face is gonna jump out in a second. I'm waiting for the fucker. I know he's gonna come out soon. Where you at? Well, why'd I lie? I don't like that shit's moving on its own. What's it? I don't... Why is there doors? I don't like that there's doors. Oh, why am I lagging? Stop. Ugh. Ew. This is literally just the back rooms. What is this? Insert level 1 keycard. For sure. Alright. I'm fucking with this and I'm not. Like, where am I going right now? Should I not be here? Why do I need a microwave? Why do I need a microwave? Yeah, so he just said the N-word. I'm not fucking with that. Okay. I'm just gonna... Okay. I'm gonna follow you. If you don't mind. Alright, so you mind. I'm sorry. Is he hissing at me? I didn't know you did that. That's kind of lit. I can't lie. Come up here. Does he not know how? Oh, he's a bitch. I wasn't aware. I didn't know he was a pussy. You can't handle stairs, buddy? He doesn't have legs. It doesn't really work. How far do I have to wait for him to go before I can follow him? Because that's the only exit. Can you go a little further? Just a little further. Just a little further. Am I good? Oh my god! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'm sorry. That's the only exit. Where am I supposed to go? Damn, he's quick. Oh, you can't handle stairs, huh? Bitch. He handles stairs. Oh no, he can't. Yeah, he's a pussy. He's a pussy. Okay, so what do you want me to do? How am I supposed to, how do I get out then? There's no way to get out. He's just he's puppy guarding the exit. What a dick. What a dick. I still have my key card though. I forget I keep my stuff. Oh my gosh. I forgot that I keep all my shit. Okay, so I still have my goggles then. Okay. So what was the last thing I need a manual. Alright, go further. How long should I wait? Because I literally came in through a fucking tunnel. Like, I came in through a tunnel that was long. So it's the only exit out of this room, though. Like, how long am I supposed to wait? Dude, I don't know. By the way, when he threw that chair at me, it scared the fuck out of me. I jumped so much at that chair. Can I come? I still hear him. You don't mind, right? You don't mind if I just come around the corner? You don't mind, right? I still see him over there. I'd prefer if he went the opposite direction. That'd be nice. I'm gonna wait for him to go a bit further. Is he going into the water? He just went into the water. So that's new tech. I wasn't aware of this. Did he go in the water? Ah, you're so annoying. You're actually so annoying. Ugh, God, it's ugly. I need to leave this room, you fuck. Uh-oh, can't handle stairs, huh? Dumb bitch. Yeah, turn around. I want to watch your dumb ass turn around. I want to watch you turn around. Hi! What you think about this, huh? What you think about this? Bitch. I swear it's saying the N-word. I swear it is. Can we hurry up, maybe? God, why does it have to be slow? Why does it have to be slow? I can't leave. He won't let me. You think I'm fast enough to run past it? I reckon it's a possibility. Think I'm quick enough? Yeah, I stepped on your tail, pussy. Aw, he can pull me. So I can't touch his tail either. That's lame as fuck. I can't even touch his tail. Ugh, God. This guy's annoying. I don't like him. He was puppy guarding my exit, bro. Your order's ready to ship. Clearly not. It got delayed 3 days. Yeah, this guy's annoying. He won't let me. He was puppy guarding my only exit. I keep my stuff though. So I already have the goggles and the key card. Now all I need is the manual. So I just gotta look around, and then once I get that, I can just leave the room, right? After I get the manual. That'd be tough. I think I could just leave because I keep all my shit. I love that for me. I don't know how to use the goggles though. This snake motherfucker's kind of annoying. Where's the... There's two monsters in this. It's not just the snake. There's two of them. There's like a little plushie doll that keeps popping up behind me. That scared the fuck out of me in the first one. That jump scared me a lot. Alright. Put me in, coach. You gotta stop taking so long. Alright. We also have 5 videos for reaction, so we're all prepped for the day. I still have to put a video up today, though. We might only do 2 levels, because I need time to edit. We might only do 2 levels today. Perhaps. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Because I don't know if I have time to... maybe. I don't know. The videos I've picked are pretty long, though. So, like 30 minutes, 40, 50 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, yeah, so these videos are pretty long. How do you like the game? Bro, this game's actually so good. The graphics in this game are amazing. The jump scares are good. Like, I'm getting scared almost every single level. This game's fire. It's really good. We're on, like, level 5? Yeah, we're on level 5 right now. It's generating. It's taking forever. Do you have this problem with this game, too? Like, it takes forever to load? Because my shit... I don't know, it takes like 3 minutes every single time I die. Yeah, the reaction's gonna be super good today, but it is gonna be super long also. Alright, exit's right there. So I have the key card and the goggles. I just need the manual. I need like the little piece of paper thing. We should have fixed that. That was a big part of the last patch. Oh, yeah, the generating level is just like... It just takes a really long time. I think if you added... Because I know there's like notes and like documents everywhere about like the storyline, but I think if you added more of the storyline into the actual game itself, it might be kind of fun. Like if you added like just more details about the actual storyline. What's that, man? Whoa! Did he pop? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that to him? I didn't pop him, did I? I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Holy shit. Mysterious recipe. Okay, so does that mean I can just leave now? I heard a whisper. I heard a whisper. I heard a whisper. I don't like whispers. Whispers aren't fun. That's a dead body. Did he get Vecna'd? I've seen these injuries before. Y'all took some notes from Stranger Things, didn't you? Okay, so I was already here. So how do I get back then? I think I get back through here. Can I just leave now? Did I finish the level? I think I did. Because those were the only 3 things I need. So now I have to just leave. I just have to leave now. Unless I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. This level is a doozy. I'm pretty sure... Dude, I think I finished it. Didn't I finish it? Left click to use. Brethren. How do I use it, though? Oh, wait, I think I know what I have to do. Do I have to put the goggles in... You piss me off, you know that? You're a real pain in my ass. Leave me alone. Can I go that way? I'm gonna go that way if you don't mind. I don't think he minds. I think we're good. I'm just gonna keep running. We're just gonna ignore it. We're just gonna ignore it. It doesn't matter. We're fine. Everything's good. He's definitely behind me. He's gotta be. But I just put the moves on him. He ain't got shit on me. After the 4th level, the game becomes significantly more difficult. Yeah, I noticed that when I learned that I had to find 3 different objects just to beat this level. I figured that out pretty quick. Okay, there's a place over there I can go. I need to find the staircase now, I believe, so I can put the goggles in the microwave. I gotta put the goggles in the microwave. Is that right? Ew, I don't like you, bitch. That thing scares me. Okay, wait, hold on. Lock in, lock in, lock in. Lock in, lock in. I don't like that these things are just moving freely. That kind of worries me. Oh my god! Get away from me, bitch. Get away from me. Get away from me. What's over here? I gotta open this door. You piss me off. You really do. You really pissed me off. Okay, but, on the bright side, we have all the things we need now. So now we can just speed run it to the staircase room. Do I gotta put the goggles in the microwave? Is that what I gotta do? I'm assuming that's what I gotta do. Because I have to like waterproof them, don't I? So like, microwave. I don't know how that would waterproof it, but that's the only thing I can think of. Okay, fuck yeah. Yeah, I think I just gotta put them in the microwave. Oh gosh, this is still, yeah. It just takes a while for it to load. Yeah, I gotta go put the goggles in the microwave. We have everything we need. Now we're locked in. I like that I get to keep my stuff. That's pretty cool. Because this game would be fucking impossible if I couldn't. This level's not bad. What's that little balloon fucker that keeps popping up? He hasn't jump scared me yet. Well, like he's jump scared me, but he hasn't like killed me yet. Dude, I need some games that make me fucking tweak. That's what I need. I'm gonna take Morphine and then play the top rated most scary game. His in-game name is 3 question marks. Why would you tell me that while I'm on the level? Is that really his name? That's terrifying. It's just 3 question marks. So does he kill me? Does that guy kill me? He just keeps popping up. He seems chill. I don't know. He's not. He's just kind of lurking. He's probably a bit of a pervert, but he just likes watching me go swimming, I guess. That's the creator y'all created? That's the character y'all created? A balloon guy that likes watching people swim? So far, he's benign. Okay. So I don't have to worry about him too much. He's just kind of a nuisance. Put me in. Put me in. Let me finish this level. We might be, yeah, I think we might only be able to do this level before we switch to reactions. We're gonna finish this and then we'll switch to reactions. I gotta find that staircase room. I don't remember where it is. I don't remember where that staircase room is. What's this? What's this thing? Is that just to fuck with me? I'm assuming that's just to fuck with me. Alright, I need to find that staircase. The spiral staircase. I have my key card now. Dude, the last time I was at the spiral staircase, I couldn't escape because the fuck-ass snake was just puppy guarding it. What are these egg timers for? I don't think I've collected all of them. I collected a good amount, but I definitely didn't collect all of them. What's in here? Is this room special? Doesn't look like it. It's like a noise bomb distraction for monsters. Oh, so I could have been using those the whole time? I swear I'm hearing shit. What am I hearing? What was I just hearing? What's in here? Anything? Anything important? Anything important I should know about? Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. He's not lurking, right? No, I don't think he is. Come on, get me up here. Yo. What's up, Tanner? Alright, let's put this in. Let's lock in. Come on. Okay, so I gotta put these in here, right? Oh, hell yes. That's what we're talking about. That's all I gotta put in, right? Is that it? Is that it? I think that's it. And then I gotta wind it to the eye and the moon. And then we close that shit. Uh-huh. We're doing it now. How long have you been on this level? Not super long. This is like my 3rd attempt. This is like my 3rd attempt doing it. I think we're locked in. What's this? I hear the fucker. I hear you, bitch. You're not slick. You can't get upstairs, can ya? You can't get upstairs, can ya? Oh, he's not even here. He ain't even here. Can I put it on? Oh. Okay, okay. Pro tip, press the button top of stairs. For why? What does this do? What does this do for me? What does that do for me? it just shows me the exit room. I hear him swimming out there. It would have shown the gate opening. Oh. If you looked at it. Okay, my bad. Oh, God. He's always puppy guarding the exit. You know, you're a real pain in my ass. You're a real pain in my ass. I don't fuck with you. I really don't. Yeah. You scared of stairs? You scared of stairs? Goofy looking ass. Oh, why'd he just speed up all of a sudden? Wait, so he was just going that slow for the love of the game? He could have sped up that whole time. Okay, am I good to exit? You're gonna let me leave, right? Are you letting me leave? Are we chilling? Alright. I mean, I'm down for that. I appreciate it. He's right fucking behind me. Okay, we're gonna run. We're gonna run is not that way though, because he's right there. Holy shit, he's quick. That boy is fast. Oh my God, you scared me. It's fine, we're chilling. That guy doesn't do anything to me. That guy doesn't do anything to me. I'm invincible to him. I'm running. Oh, I'm quick. What is going on? Is there a serial killer out there? What are we barking at? What are we barking at? You're killing your flashlight? Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize. Can't. Wait, who just walked in? Oh, that's not my grandma. I don't know who that is. She came with the house. I have no idea who that is. Is he guarding my exit again? Is that where I have to go? I hope not. Did they cost extra? No, it didn't cost that. She doesn't even know we're here. She low-key just like walks across the screen every once in a while. But she doesn't even say anything. I've tried to talk to her before. She doesn't say anything. Alright, so we made it through. This seems a little counterintuitive. I just got through all that and I'm just jumping into an abyss. Okay. Did I beat the level? Did I beat the level? I don't know if I did or not. I think I did. Hello? See, I'm telling you, she doesn't hear me. I don't think she knows I'm here. Did we do it? I don't know. It's taking extra long, so I'm assuming we just beat the level. I see what you mean by she doesn't talk back. Yeah, no, she did us. I don't think she knows I'm here. We were getting like the little house tour and stuff, and then we saw her walk by, and my mom was like, "Who is that?" And they were like, "We honestly don't know, but we can't get her out because she doesn't hear us." Yeah. Should I call someone about that, or? I see. Yeah. Oh. Should I call someone about this? Where does she walk to? Where does she walk? No, she just despawns after she gets past that door. She low-key just spawns in randomly. Yeah, I mean, she's not bothering anyone. She just kind of walks back and forth. I don't even know. No, she doesn't even walk anywhere. She just like goes back and forth and she despawns like randomly. Put me in, coach. Let me play the level. Damn. Motherfucker. We can play this level too, actually. Yeah, we could definitely play this level for sure. We have time. We got time. Trap her spawn point with obsidian. Oh my gosh, that's not a bad idea. Yo, low key. I could do that. I could do that. That's good comms, bro. Hold on, let me put it in. Yo, this level's fucking insane. What? I gotta get 4 things for this level. Holy shit. Okay. I gotta get 4 things? Brother. No screen? I know, we're not in the game yet. It's generating the level. The level's still generating. We got a little time. Have you watched those videos? No, I haven't. We're doing the react after we finish this level. We're gonna do this level and then we'll start with the reactions after. We have 5 videos. We have the 2 that you sent me, and then I found 3 of my own videos or 2 of my own videos that we're gonna do. So I could use 1 more video. But the ones that I have are pretty long. Are those videos fine? Yeah, no, these videos are great. Dude, did the government create the Unabomber? That's gonna be tough. The Unabomber. That video is gonna be good. And the piracy is morally correct. I have no idea what that means. The most and then I also have the most disturbing US cover-up of all time. That one's 50 minutes though. And then why USA 1.0 failed. We have some good videos for the reacts today. I want to get at least 1 more. Dude, I was on Omegle clip farming and I got into a fake gunfight with someone and I fucked up my leg a little bit. And it kind of hurts. Oh, we're in the match. Why is it pitch black? No. I don't fuck with this. Why am I in a fast food restaurant? Oh, I can't leave that way. Elevator.
Power's out.
I thought that was like an eye or something. There's nothing under there. So I actually have to go into the playset. I hate that so much. Why do I have to do this to myself? Crouch! Brother! Ew. My God, just... Ew. Stop making that noise. God, I hate it. Why is it doing that? Oh. Oh, it's a picture. Okay. Money? Hell yeah! What's in here? This place is kind of terrifying. God, I don't like this at all. This is so unsettling. Is this the whole level? Please say it's not. Please say it's not. No way. Wait, did I just make a loop? On Kizzy Wiz, I just made a loop. Oh my gosh. God, it's bright. Oh my gosh, my face is like... I don't like this at all. This is gonna suck. Is that just Abyss? I can just walk off into the Abyss. That I can, okay. That's cool. No, that's kind of tough. Oh no, I'm lagging. That means something's near me. Why do I hear spiders? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. What's that? Deodorant. Ew. Ew. What is that thing? Ew. No, I hate it. Ew. What is that? He's not following me, is he? No, I think he went down. He did not go down. He did not go down. He did not go down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone, please. Please leave me alone. Is he able to get in here? You are cooked? I'm not cooked. I'm a fucking G, remember? Turn your flashlight off? Why? Why is he just lurking? Ah, God. I don't like its face. I'm not a fan of its face. Why do I stink? I don't want to stink. Can he sniff me out? Like a little search dog? Damn, he's kind of quick. Did I just reach a dead end? Can I jump over him? Oh my God, I'm so much cooler than you. Oh, I'm so much cooler than you. Trampoline. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm fucking with it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this worm ain't got shit on me. This worm doesn't have shit on me. Do I die? I definitely die. Oh no, I don't. Oh God, I'm so cool. What's this? Arcade. Fuse boxes. Large fuse. What did I just do? Did I cut the fuses? Is he still after me? Why are you still after me? Brother. I ran away. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't mean to fucking do that. I was not expecting the jump over to work. Bro, I'm a fucking G, I told you. Tanner, can you send me some games that are like insanely scary? Because this game's like I got a few jump scares out of it, but like I want to be fucking like shitting myself. You gotta send me some games that are like terrifying. I need some games that I'll actually tweak in. That's what I want. We gotta play the Backrooms game. I'm actually so down. I'd be down to play the Backrooms game. With like, and I got you. You have games like that, Tanner, that are like actually terrifying? I need games like that, bro. I need games like that. Because those would be so fun to play on stream. And also terrifying, obviously. But that's like, it's entertaining if I'm scared. I could find some. Okay, for sure. Dude, also just like indie games that I can play once. Like indie games that I can play once on stream. Like, I need those too. I just don't know, like, where to look. I don't know which video to put up today. I think I have some reactions I can edit to put up. But I need to upload this VOD. Tanner, have I uploaded that yet? I don't know if I uploaded that yet. I need to upload the VOD from 2 days ago, I believe. I think. I also need food because I'm hungry. I need this new mic to come in, actually, so there's not keyboard sounds in my fucking stream all the time. That'd be sick. That's what I need. Can this shit load? God, this is taking forever. I'm looking for like one more video to do on reactions. If we yeah, I'm gonna attempt this level one more time and then we're gonna switch to reactions. Because I need enough time to put a video out tonight. I need enough time to edit. So we're going to try this level one more time. Itch.io, I know. I've seen itch.io. I just don't, like, dude, looking through that is annoying, if I'm being honest. Why people think the FBI killed JFK. I thought we were all pretty sure about that. What was on Bin Laden's hard drive? All right, we got our 5th video. Okay, we're good. We're good. I will look through it. Okay, fuck yeah. Bro, get me some games that will make me tweak. That's what I need. Oh, fuck. You need to play PSOM 2 demo. Okay, what is it? Is that supposed to say Palm 2? No, that's definitely supposed to say that. How do you say that? Psalm? Psalm 2? Dude, if I'm not talking, that's how you know it's a good horror game. I mean, good to watch. Okay, so I'll play that then. I need some horror games that will make me scream. I'm gonna look through Steam too and find some like indie games that I can play on stream also. I'm gonna make the Discord channel tonight so that it's like available. And then I have to link it in all my videos. All right, we're back in. I'm gonna send you the pics of that game. Okay, for sure. Yeah, so I definitely don't want that. What does this guy do? Is he already on me? God, you're annoying. You know that? You really are. Great, I stink. Awesome. What does that mean? What does it mean when I stink? What does it mean when I stink? Is that something I should be worried about? He can smell you? Ew. Can he get to me if I'm up here? He can get to me! He can get to me! Aww. Ew. I didn't know he could get up the walls. I thought I just found tech on accident. Fuck. Okay. God damn it. Alright, we're gonna close this game. We beat 2 levels though. We kinda cooked. We kinda cooked today. I'm gonna switch to reactions though. Let's close this. Okay. Let's open up Google. I gotta open all these videos. Okay. We got some good ones today. I think I have 5. We're gonna get all 5 out. Hayden, or not Hayden, Tanner, do I have you modded? Yeah, I do. Tanner, can you change the title of the Twitch stream to reactions? Change it to just copy and paste that, Tanner. And then make sure you change the category to just chatting. There's a just chatting category. I need that changed also. And let me change the YouTube one and then we'll get started. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Let's change the... How do I change? I actually have no idea how to change the YouTube one. That's okay. It doesn't need to be changed. Okay. Let me look up these videos and then we'll get started on this. Okay. That's the first video. And then I took screenshots of all of them. Okay. YUSA 1.05. Got that one.
Imagine being
Nope, I'm good. Got this one. Another ad. Jesus Christ, I need YouTube Premium. What category? Just chatting. It's literally called Just Chatting. The most disturbing US cover-ups. All right.
Did you
got
know that the epidemic prevention?
Nope, I didn't. Stop talking. Piracy is morally correct. Okay, just making sure I put it on the right. Yeah. No, you got it. Piracy is morally correct. This guy.
If my internet service
Okay, wait. Yeah, we'll do the original one. All right. And then we got one more. Did the government create the Unabomber? The Unabomber. Okay.
June
All right, we got
24th.
all of them. We got all of them. Let me click through the ads real quick so that we don't have to worry about them. We're still gonna get more ads, obviously, but because YouTube tends to fuck me every chance they get. Okay, that's all. That's good. That's good. We got another Johnny Harris video today because Johnny Harris is actually fire. All right. We're going to do Piracy is Morally Correct first. And then Bin Laden's hard drive, USA 1.0, most disturbing, and then the Unabomber. Enabled emote only mode. Why would you? Oh, okay. He disabled it. All right, let's get started. First video of the night. Piracy is morally correct, actually.
If my internet
Lock in.
service provider is watching, maybe don't. Thanks. Streaming services are nuking digital-only shows left, right, and center. Hollywood's been burying movies for creative accounting reasons forever. Game studios are shutting down servers for always online games that really didn't need to be online in the first place. In an era where companies can sweep away any piece of media that they deem unprofitable or irrelevant, there's a moral argument to piracy as a form of accessibility and preservation. There is no better example to encapsulate this than
So is he
Project
talking
Five
about?
Completionists.
Is he talking about piracy, like pirating like movies and shit? What does he mean by piracy?
over $20,000 to legally obtain every game across the 3DS and Wii U eShops before they closed down in March of 2023. But Josh, they actually bought the game, so it's not piracy, you dumb f. Shut the fuck up. You see how that's insane, right? While there's a ton of 3DS and
Yes, but not movies. So we're talking about like game. So just anything, like just pirating anything.
Wii U ROMs available for your seafaring needs all over the internet. There's no singular archive that contains every published title, for good reason. Nintendo has a reputation for being particularly litigious when it comes to people infringing on their copyright. So Blizzard has, say, 100
What did I just
seaters.
do?
A CyberPN proof. By going through the official route, the completionist team took the legally safe path to archiving over 2,300 games. Most of the games on the eShop never saw a physical release, so if you want to buy a copy officially today, you can't. Look at this Letterboxd review. I know it's funny in its absurdity, but bear with me when I say it's representative of a real problem. Brother got a VPN, paid a random dude in India to get him a local phone number, then made an Indian Disney Plus account to watch this movie legitimately. He's more dedicated to this than I was to my ex-wife. I'm not married, I've never been married. All this effort, and you know what? Circumventing all those regional licensing restrictions isn't really legal. And in the end, it puts a few bucks in the mouse's pocket with next to nothing going to the creatives behind it. Want to play Cyberpunk in Indonesia? I hope you're a quintillionaire because that'll be 700,000 rupiah. Want to play
Whoa!
Hotline Miami 2 here in Australia? Fuck off, you can't because there's a sexual assault scene in there, despite plenty of other media being published with similarly graphic content. I'm not going to argue for or against this scene in Hotline Miami 2, but the devs have openly recommended pirating the game to fans in Australia. In all of these examples, I would argue that piracy is not theft, regardless of if it's because the price is exorbitant, like in Indonesia or Brazil, or licensing and distribution limitations, or government censorship, like here in Australia, or the fact that the devs literally said to. The reality is that the consumer in this sort of situation was simply never going to be able to make the purchase if they wanted to. They never had access to that choice. We'll return to this idea later, but let's talk about preservation. Historical archives in the post-industrial age are a tricky task. I mean, archival work has always been difficult, but there's specific issues when it comes.
Okay, this is not the direction I thought this video was going in at all. I thought he was gonna say like piracy was good because these high companies tend to fuck us on prices. That's the argument I thought he was going for. But he's saying that like piracy's okay because those people were never able to access that content in the first place. So they're not losing any money by streaming it to them. Does that make sense? I don't know if I made that very understandable. But I think I'm understanding what he's talking about.
Comes to working with media published on tape, discs, and cartridges. With tape-based media like audio cassettes and VHS, the actual content is stored in a magnetized coating that's on a plastic tape. To read the media off the tape, you do some funky math and magic with magnets and get an...
If you were a fruit, you'd be a fine apple. Ronnie, if you were a word, you'd be the fine print.
audio-visual signal out.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
But that repeated exposure to magnetic fields deteriorates the magnetic film that contains my favorite episode of Around the Twists, and we can't have that. Also, it's the ice cream slavery one, if you want to know. So then get a brand new VHS tape and never actually play it. Two issues with that. One, good luck finding an unopened VHS tape even just a few years after publication, let alone decades down the line. And two, they'll deteriorate regardless. The magnetic film can oxidize when exposed to moisture. Even in controlled environments, the plastic tape itself is at risk of decaying. That's why it's important to transfer such media to a less volatile medium, like DVDs. What's that? DVDs and Blu-rays are vulnerable to disc rot, so they have a similar real-world lifespan to VHS tapes. Okay, let's copy them over to a hard drive. Hard drives have an even shorter lifespan. Okay.
Do they really? Yo, what are we doing?
Storage, solid state, better than hard.
Geez, I hate my bloodline. I wish you weren't my cousin. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Ronnie, but we're not related.
Hard drives, but you still have transistor decay and charge leakage. Okay, what about archival specific formats like LTO cassettes? 30 years, controlled environment, you have to keep checking it because it's still a magnetic tape and it might decay anyway. Okay, well, fuck. How long would it take me to carve?
That was a pickup line? What? Yeah, no, that would not work.
Every single Garfield strip into stone tablets. How many punch cards would it take to run Doom? The best option we have so far are reels of film that typically last 50 to 70 years, but still require a pretty controlled environment to be stored in. Now, what if I told you that all that chatter about storage formats doesn't actually...
Okay, what does this have anything to do with piracy? I'm lost now. Is your name Google because you have everything I've been searching for? Okay, that one's good. That one's tough. What the fuck is this video about? I'm so confused right now.
matter, because it doesn't. Copy Avengers Endgame to a VHS tape, nobody's gonna stop you, not even Disney, just the passage of time. The key with archiving is parity. great example, we've got the original film reels for the 1939 Wizard of Oz somewhere in MGM's hands, but there's also multiple other reels stored in various different locations, as well as digital scans of those reels, and then digital masters that have gone out to consumers. If one Hollywood studio mysteriously burns down, then there's still other copies of the film stored all over the place. We might lose the original, but there's enough copies out there that the movie itself will continue to exist in one way or another. Obviously, we can't do this with every single piece of media, right? Well, that's where piracy comes in, sort of. Forgive me for sounding like a pie-in-the-sky crypto bro, but we have to decentralize all of our archiving if anything is going to last. For those of you unfamiliar, piracy websites aren't using their servers to store that copy of Joker 2 Electric Boogaloo that you've got downloading in the background right now. They're just putting you in the group chat with everyone else that has a copy, if that makes sense. Peer-to-peer networks operate by connecting you with seeders, essentially users hosting that file for other people to access. If this particular torrent of Leisure Suit Larry in the land of the lounge lizards has, say, 100 seeders, that's 100 different users sharing their copy of those files for anyone to access. It's parity across 100 devices, even after the original floppy disks have decayed far too much to be readable. Despite the very idyllic concept of a communal torrenting archive system, there's some obvious flaws. If nobody wants a copy of my super awesome Star Wars fan film, I'm the only one hosting it. And if I'm the only one hosting it, and Kim Jong-un nukes Australia, for example, or my hard drive dies, whichever comes first, then that's the end of the story, it's gone. Relying on the enthusiasm of strangers on the internet to offer up some storage space for the greater good of preservation is a hard sell, especially when you start getting into the copyright shenanigans that come with redistributing materials you don't own. The Internet Archive is a nonprofit that offers an extensive collection of works, including 44 million pieces of literature and 800 billion web pages. 212 petabytes of information across 4 data centers. And then it was DDoSed so hard, the site was offline for a month and it was unclear if we would ever get access again to the largest archive ever created. A modern burning of Alexandria, if you will. Except we put out the flames and the books were all fine, so not really that similar. Anyway, a big chunk of what's stored on the Internet Archive isn't available anywhere else, and there's a heavy reliance on the community's interest in archiving media. Be it some random Tumblr post or an old news article that's since been taken down, the Wayback Machine relies on users voluntarily archiving web pages while they're still online. Other organizations, like the Video Game History Foundation, are in a similar boat in terms of relying on community enthusiasm around preservation. But publishers aren't always on board with the idea of the greater good. During the pandemic, when most physical libraries were shuttered, the Internet Archive launched the National Emergency Library Program, stirred by academics, students, and librarians requesting help to access resources that were now out of reach because libraries were shut everywhere. The NEL temporarily altered the way that the Internet Archive lends out digital books. Their traditional policy is much like an actual one.
I'm so fucking lost right now. I have no idea where this is going. Like, I don't understand how this is explained. How is this explaining that piracy is morally correct? I still don't know.
Library, with only one user being able to borrow a book or a scan of a book at any given time. Under the NEL, this restriction was lifted to help fulfill the demand of all the students and academics stuck at home, meaning that any number of users could get a copy of the book at the same time. Publishers immediately called this piracy and got together to collectively sue the Internet Archive. The archive's defense was that the NEL was still complying with fair use law, arguing that the program was for the sake of education and not for profit. Even after multiple appeals, the court ruled in favor of the publishers, resulting in thousands of items being removed from the archive. If the publishers themselves don't care to preserve their works for the sake of society, why should we? Why should you, dear viewer, give a shit about preserving FIFA 2015 or that Twilight fanfiction that an Indonesian 14-year-old wrote trying to scrounge up some cash to buy a copy of Cyberpunk? It's hard to sell people on the idea that all media should be preserved. There's just so much out there that a good chunk of it has to be crap, right? Have some principles, damn it. Do I personally
Ronnie, what? He's like stuttering in the chat. You're pretty. Can we go out sometime, please? I mean, and then that's it. That's the whole chat. And then he put in parentheses, "That's awkward, Riz." You're something else, bro.
Every episode of Gossip Girl is archived for future generations to educate themselves with. No, not particularly. But it's the principle of it. Any piece of media that has influenced even one life is deserving of preservation. In my opinion, it is morally correct to archive any piece of media we can document, because even the smallest things shape who we are on both an individual and societal level. And sometimes, good archiving means a little bit of piracy. Video games are uniquely difficult to preserve because of all the moving parts involved, often with some core components stored halfway across the world. The Crew was an online-only racing game published by Ubisoft, and if you know Ubisoft, you can imagine where this is going. Published in 2014, the game required an internet connection to play because of the persistent open world that was hosted on Ubisoft servers. The game client itself contains all the assets required to play the game. The environment, the cars, the sound effects, all of that are on your device. And you could experience the entirety of the game in single player. But even still, you had to connect online. And then in 2024, Ubisoft shut their servers down for the game, essentially killing it on the spot. Not only did players lose access to the game that they had purchased, but the DLC and microtransactions as well. Even if you had a physical disc to put in your Xbox or PlayStation, you just couldn't. The backlash, which was massive, did prompt Ubisoft into adding an offline mode to the game's 2 sequels, but the original remains officially unplayable. The Crew isn't the only game that's been doomed to this fate. Titles like Kill the Justice League also received backlash for requiring an always online connection for solo play. An offline mode was added just 3 weeks before the servers were shut down, all in less than a year since the game released. You could go to the shops right now and buy a copy of the game and never be able to access the complete experience. What about live service games like Destiny? While it is focused on the multiplayer element in the post-game, like grades and PvP, there's a substantial story campaign that would be completely inaccessible if the servers were shut down. At the time this video goes up, the original 2013 game is still online and still playable, but who knows how long that'll last. You could argue that the narrative of the games have been preserved through the countless playthroughs that are uploaded all over the internet, but that's missing a key part of the video game experience: playing it. A video recording of someone else playing Destiny doesn't let you make the choices to build your class, to find out what weapons you really enjoy playing with. That degree of agency is something that makes video game preservation kind of difficult in comparison to other mediums. A poorly scanned copy of a book is still functional as a piece of literature, even if there's some lines you can't read. In the same way that a well-worn vinyl can still play through an entire album. However, the Destiny 2 client isn't a complete archive. When the day comes that Bungie shuts down the servers, everyone's install of the game becomes a digital paperweight. At least the data still exists. Someone could, hypothetically, find a way to run it offline, like the community around The Crew did. Players have been running third-party World of Warcraft servers for ages, despite the fact that it's very much copyright infringement and Blizzard's not cool about it, but anyway. There are solutions out there for people that want to keep playing the game that they not only purchased, but also invested time and sometimes money into. But what do we do when the data was never stored on your device in the first place? Streaming services like Netflix have become an everyday part of our lives. Massive libraries at our fingertips without having to worry about a bookshelf full of DVDs or terabytes of MP4s. No, wrong. Editor Josh, wrong MP4.
YouTube Premium is ad-free
Oh,
YouTube
okay.
and the YouTube Music app all together. Once
While the benefit of streaming video on demand is convenience, the downside is that you never have a tangible copy of anything. This, along with the decline of physical media, means that many shows and movies that are published in this day and age go directly to streaming and never get a DVD or Blu-ray release. You never get to own something yourself. Case in point, Disney published, cancelled, and took down Willow within 6 months. It is one thing to take a product off shelves if it isn't selling, but consumers were never given an option to purchase a copy of Willow in the first place. If it weren't for the people that had ripped the show for others to watch while it was still online, the existence would have been nothing more than a barren Wikipedia page. To finally come back around to that title that you clicked on, piracy is morally correct as a form of media preservation. It's something that's a bit tricky to navigate. You can't preemptively rip 6 seasons of Below Deck because you won't know that it's being taken down before it's too late. You can't archive every single piece of media that you've ever watched because A, that's a lot of storage, and B, illegal to pirate, or C, very expensive to obtain legally. But coming back to the point I made earlier, if it's not on store shelves, if it's not available online through official or resellers or streaming, is it really stealing when there's nowhere I could buy it from in the first place? If I want to play something from the 3DS eShop in 2025, I don't have that choice. I can't buy something. If I want to watch Willow, I can't get a Blu-ray or watch it on Disney+. If there simply are not legitimate means for me to give company money for products, then piracy's not hurting their bottom line. There was never going to be a purchase regardless.
Okay, I understand what he's saying. So the whole point of that video was that, like, if we're not making physical copies of anything, like, companies aren't doing it for us so that we can purchase it off of them, it's not morally incorrect, or we're not scamming this company by making physical copies of stuff because there was never any to buy to begin with. So it's not like we're taking money from them. So I understand what he's saying. There was that video just went in a lot of directions, so I wasn't understanding it. But it was a good video. Okay, this one's 18 minutes. What was on Bin Laden's hard drive? I didn't even know there was a hard drive, so we're gonna watch this.
May 1st, 2011, Abbottabad, Pakistan. This compound is large, but it's nothing fancy. Inside, you'll find dozens of chickens, some vegetable patches, a cow, and the world's most wanted man. Only a handful of people know that Osama bin Laden and 16 members of his family have been living here for the past 5 years. They've taken great care to be as self-sufficient and under the radar as possible. They're a tight-knit family, and every night they have intense debates about the future of Al-Qaeda, especially lately. Like always, bin Laden goes to bed with one of his 4 wives. Tonight, it's the youngest, Amal. They're fast asleep, cuddling their 3-year-old son, when they're startled around 1 a.m. Is that a storm? Amal reaches to switch on a lamp, but bin Laden stops her. He knows this sound. It's not a storm, it's helicopters. Bin Laden panics. The Americans are here. They found him. He's forgotten to load his AK. This won't end well for him. And another realization sets in. They're going to find his hard drives. 3 terabytes of Al-Qaeda's secrets. Nothing could be worse. He'd rather be captured and killed than to have this data exposed.
I didn't know about any of this. This is my first time hearing about this.
Before we begin, for more background, we would like to recommend these fantastic short docs by our colleague and friend Neo on how bin Laden was found. Also, this video is largely based on the book The Bin Laden Papers by Nellie Lahoud. Links are in the description. Now, let's dive into the incredible story behind these hard drives.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
When the U.S. Navy SEALs raided Abbottabad to capture bin Laden, they were supposed to stay for only 30 minutes or less. Most successful missions take no longer, and any delay would amplify the danger. But when they spot, quote, a shit ton of computers in the compound, the potential intelligence value is too tempting. They deviate from the plan to return ASAP. They gather up the electronics and deliver them to the CIA. Sifting through the files is a gargantuan task, every Arabic-speaking linguist in the intelligence community is on the job. There's lots of normal stuff you might find on just about anyone's computer. Home videos, news clippings, memes, excessive amounts of pornography. Then there is the expected terrorist content, Al-Qaeda propaganda, and so on. But that's not the interesting part. On these hard drives, US intelligence discovers a treasure trove of letters.
What?
The bulk of Al-Qaeda's communications were typed or handwritten, then transmitted by couriers on a SIM card. For security reasons, bin Laden did not have
Why didn't he just destroy the hard drives before they came in?
internet access the whole time he was in hiding. The letters were exchanged through what Al-Qaeda called a closed circle. A courier moved between two intermediaries, one on bin Laden's side and one on the side of his trusted associate in North Waziristan, a mountainous part of Pakistan bordering Afghanistan. Security measures were so stringent that the courier did not know about the letters he was transmitting, and bin Laden never met him or knew who he actually was. Using couriers was cumbersome and dangerous, but it worked. For 10 years, bin Laden successfully remained hidden, and the world was in the dark when it came to Al-Qaeda. Until, of course. We rely heavily on high-powered computers to produce these videos, but sometimes we might just want to work in a cafe or abroad or on vacation. The file should be CMSable enough to use Windows XP. Check it out at any. Upon discovery of the hard drives, the CIA got straight to work extracting the immediate intelligence gains. What they found, they acted upon quickly. For example, the files helped them locate Al-Qaeda's chief operations officer in Pakistan's tribal regions. They killed him by a drone strike within 4 months of the Abbottabad raid. Al-Qaeda's top legal scholar was found and killed shortly after. But after these quick results, many of Al-Qaeda's secrets remained buried on these hard drives, coded in the countless letters. It would take years to grasp the content of all these communications, and help came from outside the CIA.
And what I wanted to do was actually to chronicle Al-Qaeda's history post 9/11. And I wanted to do it through the letters. Not through secondary sources, but through the letters.
This is Dr. Nellie Lahoud. She studies the evolving ideologies of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and she led a team that analyzed and contextualized the contents of bin Laden's papers.
The declassification process began in 2012, and by 2017, the declassified files were massive. At one point, I came to realize this is where I was going to find Al-Qaeda's internal communications. And these were about 97,000 files. I was fortunate that I was able to have the support of 2 research assistants who were native Arabic speakers like me.
Lahoud and her assistants looked at all nearly 100,000 documents, and what they uncovered is astonishing. The letters reveal bin Laden's character and Al-Qaeda's inner workings. They lay bare bin Laden's future plans and deepest fears. They help map out the global jihadi landscape, and they offer a definitive account of Al-Qaeda's post 9/11 history, which up until then was deeply misunderstood.
It's like a do not disturb.
So, oh my gosh, 70,000 files to go through.
It gets you focused.
So did he have like videos of shit that he was doing, or like was it just documents of his plans? It was probably just documents of his plans. So he just got, that's terrifying.
Which means black dust in Pashto is a remote and barren part of eastern Afghanistan. Bin Laden loves this region and knows it well. It held a special place in bin Laden's heart since the 1980s, when he made a pilgrimage from Saudi Arabia to assist the Afghan Mujahideen in the holy cause of fighting the Soviets. He helped fund the construction of cave complexes in the region and recruited fighters who contributed to the broader resistance movement. The Soviets eventually withdrew, and bin Laden believed his contributions to be decisive. The victorious Afghan jihad inspired the formation of Al-Qaeda, which means the base of an Islamist legion that could wage jihad anywhere. At that time, bin Laden and the Americans were on the same side, both in Tora Bora, supporting the Afghan Mujahideen and resisting a Soviet invasion. Now 14 years later, bin Laden is cowering from them, fleeing into the same mountains that he once used as a stronghold. But the CIA are on his tracks. On December 3rd, 2001, the situation turns grim for Al-Qaeda. The Americans start bombing relentlessly. Al-Qaeda members are hiding in caves at 9,000 feet, shivering in 10 degrees below freezing. They have no access to drinking water because it's frozen. the bombs keep raining destruction. Against all odds, bin Laden escapes the US troops, but he's not feeling celebratory. He knows that at any moment he can be killed, so he hastily draws up his will. And in his will, bin Laden writes to his children, "Forgive me, because I have given you only a little of my time since I answered the jihad call. I have chosen a road fraught with dangers, and for this sake suffered from hardships, embitterment, betrayal, and treachery. I advise you not to work with Al-Qaeda." It's a low moment for bin Laden, and it's not just because death is around the corner. It's also because he made a horrible mistake, and now he knows it.
What the letters reveal is that Al-Qaeda had not anticipated that the United States would launch a war in response to 9/11. At most, they thought that the United States would respond with a limited airstrikes.
Why would we not respond with a war? Like, have you not seen anything we've done in the past? Why would we not respond with a war? That makes no sense. That's the worst prediction you could ever make about America. Like, we're not, like, I don't necessarily agree with war, but, like, I don't know, we're pretty fucking dangerous.
Al-Qaeda was completely unprepared. They didn't even have a plan A. Bin Laden made a huge miscalculation. He believed the United States was fundamentally weak, a paper tiger with no real bite. Not all jihadis suffered from this delusion. In a council shortly before 9/11, high-level jihadis and Muslim religious authorities warned bin Laden that the Americans would attack the whole Middle East if he launched an attack on US soil. But he waved off their concerns confidently. He was certain that the United States didn't have the resources for a counterattack. Bin Laden's stated purpose of 9/11 was to serve as a decisive blow to force the United States.
That's a big fucking gamble, dude. That's a huge gamble. You're willing to take down 2 towers at the expense of an entire civilization.
Withdraw its military forces from Muslim-majority countries. Well, quite the opposite happened. Now bin Laden had no choice but to acknowledge the true power of his sworn enemy. Several key Al-Qaeda members are already dead, captured or displaced into unfriendly countries. The Taliban, who has been aiding Al-Qaeda, has fallen rapidly, but it would take bin Laden years to publicly admit his mistake. For their part, the United States also misunderstood the power of their enemy, but in their case, the opposite was true. They believed Al-Qaeda was far more powerful than it actually was. Up until bin Laden's death, Al-Qaeda was widely perceived to be the major player in the global jihadi landscape. 9/11 shocked the world, and it was assumed that only a very powerful network could harm the world's greatest superpower in such a devastating manner. Most people believed Al-Qaeda was still pulling the strings when it came to other Islamist terrorism. The Madrid and London bombings of 2004 and 2005 were falsely reported to have been orchestrated by the group. And for a while, bin Laden fed that narrative, publicly cheering on jihadis and allowing people to believe that he was calling the shots. Al-Qaeda continued to release public statements, which allowed them to project strength that they did not have. They fed the illusion that the jihadi landscape was a united front. But the papers show that the post-9/11 reality looked quite different.
So when bin Laden disappeared from the scene, we learned that he stopped communicating with his associates for about 3 years. Now, he was watching the news, he was releasing public statements, but he had no knowledge about what was happening in the world of Al-Qaeda itself because he was hiding. So between 2004 all the way to 2011, all the letters make it absolutely clear that Al-Qaeda did not have the resources and did not have the personnel to mount international terrorism.
Quote-unquote successful jihadis capable of international terrorism were in almost all cases operating independently of Al-Qaeda. From the outside, the movement appeared to be united under Al-Qaeda, but in reality, the network was riddled with internal divisions. Al-Qaeda was at constant odds with affiliate groups because of differing strategies, power struggles, and serious trust issues. Later letters show that much of Al-Qaeda's post-9/11 focus was on managing these tensions. In highly bureaucratic Al-Qaeda memos, you can tell that bin Laden's educational background is in business administration and not religious scripture. He's a hands-on boss with a tendency to micromanage, running Al-Qaeda like a failing company. He's preoccupied with the competition, with rebranding, with PR scandals, and with potential mergers. He's anxiously trying and failing to control the affiliate groups. He's afraid different strategies are tarnishing the al-Qaeda brand.
These groups ended up focusing their attention locally, and in the process, they mounted many indiscriminate attacks that saw many Muslim casualties, and this upset bin Laden deeply. Many, if not probably all these attacks, were not authorized by bin Laden or the top leadership of al-Qaeda. We find bin Laden and his associates remarkably calling for less terrorism rather than more terrorism out of these groups. But this isn't to kind of paint them as being...
So he didn't want to respond to America's response. Like, America hit back after 9/11, and he didn't want to keep doing... Like, he didn't want the terrorism to keep going. He was ordering them to stop. I thought he was just gunning it for us.
Peaceful makers, they wanted the attacks of all these groups to be targeting the United States.
The United States' counterterrorism efforts didn't reflect any of this complexity. The Americans believed that al-Qaeda was growing stronger by the day. They were fixated on al-Qaeda as the main threat, pouring a huge amount of resources into finding bin Laden. And just after the 9/11 attacks, the Bush administration passed the authorization for the use of military force. This legislation allowed military force to be used against anyone considered to be associated with the attacks, without requiring explicit approval from Congress. If a jihadist could reasonably be linked with al-Qaeda, then military activities in the region could be pursued more swiftly. Meanwhile, other, more threatening jihadi groups were growing in strength, outside the purview of the Americans' enormous military resources. As a result, in 2014, al-Qaeda was overtaken by a rival jihadist group, a group that was formerly an offshoot. They had broken away, largely due to strategic disagreements. Bin Laden tried and failed to keep that group under control, but after a point, they simply stopped responding to his letters. That group is now known as ISIS. The letters reveal another fascinating delusion of bin Laden, which helps explain why he was ultimately captured.
So he had no control over ISIS. Oh.
Yo, what's up, bro? Wait, is this that new game everyone's been talking about?
What are you talking about?
You know that NTE game?
Where is my mouse?
Getting cars, driving around, stealing stuff. Like the game really just seems like it's anime G.
Shut up. Shut up. Where is the mouse? Why is my mouse non-existent? Hello? Hello? Chat, my mouse isn't I don't have a mouse. I don't have a cursor. What the I can't skip. I don't have a cursor. Uh-oh. How did this happen? I don't have a cursor. Brother. What the fuck? How did this happen? Where did my cursor go? There it is. The fuck was that?
For nearly a decade, bin Laden has been on the run from the US. His entire life and the lives of his family members are focused on evading capture. It pains bin Laden that his family is stuck in hiding. The papers show that he's a caring family man who is intensely worried about the safety and well-being of his loved ones. He might be a mass murderer, but he reads his grandkids stories every night. It's a tough life in isolation, but his careful security measures...
Imagine your grandpa comes into your room and starts telling you stories about him being a fucking terrorist. That's insane.
I've kept him safe.
That's your... I really need to take these sounds off my fucking stream deck.
At one point in 2010, bin Laden receives a letter that one of his couriers might have been captured. This would compromise everything.
But instead of really starting to pack his bag, he chose to stay where he did. Why? Bin Laden had a soft spot for his family. At that time, his wife, who was detained in Iran, as well as his son, were released, and they wanted to join him.
So bin Laden's role as a kindly patriarch may have been the reason for his ultimate downfall. He was too wrapped up in his family matters to give the courier threat his full attention. But there was another reason, something completely unexpected. A world historical event. Not he nor the world at large saw it coming. Suddenly, bin Laden's obsession with security took a backseat role because his attention shifted. In December 2010, a wave of uprising thunders throughout the Arab world. People are fed up with corruption, poverty, and authoritarianism. The Arab Spring sends shockwaves through the Middle East and the rest of the world. The initially peaceful protests turn deadly. Governments are overthrown. Civil wars erupt. At first, bin Laden is overjoyed that people are demanding the removal of corrupt dictators, which he and other jihadists have been advocating for years. Bin Laden sees a power vacuum, and he plans to fill it. He's long wanted to instigate regime changes in the Arab world. After all, that was the whole point of September 11. The United States was backing authoritarian regimes in Muslim-majority countries like Egypt and Saudi Arabia. The attack was meant to force them to retreat from the region. Then their puppet regimes in the Arab world would fall, and Al-Qaeda could swoop in and install Taliban-style utopias. And now the people are overthrowing these regimes themselves. What could be better? Bin Laden and his family are excitedly preparing their response. We know this from a handwritten family journal found during the Abbottabad raid. The journal recorded the conversations of bin Laden's family, leading up to the night before his death. Every day, they're having intense debates about how Al-Qaeda should navigate this new reality. There's just one problem. Al-Qaeda isn't exactly at the forefront of the protesters' demands. It seems that many people want democracy, and not a caliphate. And the situation keeps changing rapidly, so strategizing is tricky. In his last few days, bin Laden relies a lot upon his two millennial daughters to formulate a stance. Maryam and Sumaya are 19 and 21 at the time. The journal reveals them to be sharp, passionate, and willing to challenge their father. They ask him the hard questions, like, is it possible that some among the new generation will believe that political change can occur without jihad? After all, the West intervened in support of overthrowing the Libyan dictator and seems generally in favor of the uprisings. Bin Laden is stumped. At points he is almost hopeless in his confusion, one day saying, "We cannot do anything except intensify our prayers." But
what the fuck are you on about? Why?
His daughters push him to make a statement. The political moment is too important to waste.
So the role of his daughters was remarkable, and we find in the letters by various family members that Maryam and Sumaya, to quote one letter, worked very closely with their father, and their writings were broadcast on TV, meaning that it was their work, their writings, that bin Laden had delivered in his public statement over the years. So clearly they were doing the heavy lifting at home. They were all on the same page in terms of their loyalty to jihad, their loyalty to, their commitment rather, to the cause for which bin Laden had spent his life doing. It was a family affair.
At the end of bin Laden's life, the papers reveal a man who is fearful, paranoid, and incapable of materializing most of his plans, large and small. He never achieves another large-scale attack on the United States.
Yeah, I mean, after how much he royally fucked up on the first one, I wouldn't want to make any calls either. He did 9/11 and then we like diddied them immediately. Like I wouldn't want to make any calls after that. He fucked up so much. That's just an insane gamble. Like you're like, oh, let's do a little terrorist attack. Hopefully America doesn't fight back. What do you think is gonna happen? I don't like that. That was just the dumbest assumption he could have made. That was a really good video. Let me close this. Next one, we'll move these around. Okay, we're gonna do why USA 1.0 failed. This one's 30 minutes long. We gotta lock in here.
Look at this map. I mean, old document. It's a manifesto, a breakup letter between British people on either side of an ocean. It's the Declaration of Independence. And no, it's not the real one. I didn't steal it. But I did find a typo. Look at this. Okay, right up here at the top, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Look at this. United. Lowercase u, tiny little type, not nearly as big as States of America. Shouldn't this be an uppercase U for like the name of the country, United States? Like what we see on my passport?
I actually didn't notice that.
Remember, in 1776, United States didn't mean what it means today. Oh yes, I'm remembering. Sort of a footnote of history. There was this gap after we declared independence. Like, George Washington was the first president, right? But his presidency started in 1789, 13 years after we declared independence. And that 13 years is what I want to talk about today. Because even though I learned about it with a bunch of boring dates and names that I don't really remember, now that I've gone back to understand it, this little gap helps answer a lot of questions I have about our current day government, how it works and how it doesn't work. It helps answer why tiny Rhode Island gets the same number of senators as huge California, and why we don't actually vote for our president directly. This gap is United States 1.0, and it failed. It failed miserably. And it all comes back to this little tiny United with the lowercase u here on the Declaration of Independence.
Did she just spawn in? Okay. Anyways, why do I not know about any of this? Like, there's so many things in these reactions that I watch that I know nothing about. Why do I not know about this? I didn't know that there was a gap there. I had no fucking idea. Alright, bro. I don't care about this game. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Oh, it's 2 ads. I hate you.
You know, I bet there's one thing that the founders of this country couldn't have predicted, which is that in the future in America, people's names and birthdays would be like gold. That is a weird reality of our digital world, and that has to do with today's sponsor, who I'm thanking right now because sponsors are how we make videos. Thank you, Incogni. Your data, it's valuable. You can make money off of your data. Well, you can't, but it's just Johnny Harris with no spaces. You get 60% off the monthly plan, which is what I use, so that they're scrubbing it month after month, making sure that my data doesn't end up on these lists again. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring today's video. And now for the education about the Constitution that I never got, but I'm about to give you. In American schools, we learn about the 13 colonies. And right away, you see something that a lot of people get wrong about this, including me, which is back then, no one called them the 13 colonies. They were actually 13 totally separate individual colonies. Yes, they were all British, but some of them had really independent government from Britain. Some of them were more tightly controlled. Some of them were kind of like given and controlled by some rich guy and his rich family back in Britain. But the point is, they were all independent from each other. They were not like one united thing. That is, until Britain needed money.
For if we allow ourselves to be taxed again, arbitrarily without our own consent, there is no hope for any of us.
The Brits had been fighting the French in one of many wars between the two, and they accrued a massive war debt. They needed money. And so they started enforcing a bunch of new taxes on their colonies in America.
I knew about this.
I did learn about in school. And I remember the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, the Sugar Act. And I always thought they were like super high, like oppressive taxes. Turns out they kind of weren't. They were fairly reasonable taxes, like a sales tax. So these taxes weren't that high, but they were suddenly being aggressively enforced. And the British people living in America were thinking, what's gonna stop this far away, out of touch, way too powerful parliament back in England from just hiking up taxes even further? And there's nothing we could do about it. This is taxation without any representation. And that feeling is a collective feeling. It leads the colonies to start to talk to each other, to start to coalesce, to start to make a plan to push back against these new taxes. They start boycotting British goods or protesting by throwing a bunch of British tea into the water as it came into port. So British troops start showing up to enforce these new taxes, and you start to get a rise of tensions. You start to get violence breaking out. And so now the colonies are in this fight together. And soon, a 33-year-old political theory nerd is spending 2 weeks in his Brick Lane friend's house in Philly, writing this manifesto that declares the 13 colonies' intent to start their own thing.
One of the greatest documents of history, the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, and by the way, while we're talking about Thomas Jefferson's worldview, did you know that he once was asked if he had to choose between living in a government with no newspaper or having newspaper with no government, he would choose the free press, a newspaper. We also believe in the power of the free press, which is why we're building New Press, a place that reimagines journalism, does journalism for the people and not just at them. Go to newpress.com to join the waitlist and help us save the Fourth Estate. And here comes the typo.
Everything you said so far, I already knew about, so I don't have much to say right now.
Oh, that isn't a typo. The reason why this U is tiny is because United States was more of a description of what these people were doing. These colonies were agreeing simultaneously to break away from Britain together. They were united in this act of independence. United, in this context, was like 13 united states of America. It was a description of what they were doing and how they were doing it. But the document itself makes very clear that they were now, quote, free and independent states. I mean, the word states back then and still today means a sovereign independent thing. So that's what they're declaring. 13 independent states who are united in their act of independence. And then they make an agreement among themselves of what they will be. The Articles of Confederation, independent states that are kind of united in a confederation of states, or in their lukewarm words, firm legal friendship.
Whoa.
Yeah, why? Deadass, why did they put that in there? Yeah, so I never knew about any of this. This is new information.
What is my job? I mean, this whole revolution was about throwing off a big, powerful, centralized government that was far away and out of touch from the people. They weren't about to recreate it. They wanted it to be as fractured and separated and local as possible. And that's why you get 13 independent states.
So strongly did they cherish independence that many did not want to endanger it with any form of strong central government.
But for now, they unite so that they can fight a war against the British to actually make this all possible.
1777 Valley Forge. We fought and froze, suffered and died for the future freedom of all Americans.
This wasn't just all of the Americans versus the British. This was actually kind of our first civil war. There was a bunch of people here who didn't want to break away from Britain, and they were on the side of the Brits. And this was actually a big global war. Britain's enemies, France...
I didn't know there was also an internal war. Like, I thought everyone was on board. I didn't know that there was an internal war also.
Spain...
Why do I not know about any of this, dude?
Dutch supported the Americans. They loved watching this big, impervious empire get, split up. They also fought the British elsewhere in the world to weaken them, to spread them out. And it was honestly kind of a game changer for the rebel fighters that were trying to throw off the most powerful empire in the world. So this civil/global rebellion war thing happens for a few years, and it's terrible, and a lot of people die, and George Washington sails across this icy river, kind of, and the Americans win. The British sign a treaty, they give up, they're like, okay, you win, fair and square, it's all yours. And in the treaty, they don't say that the United States of America is now a new country. They specify every single one of these states is their own thing. They're free, they're independent. His Britannic Majesty acknowledges New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, etc., etc. And by the way, I don't want to lean too hard into the lowercase u, because there were instances where the uppercase u showed up. Don't overread into it. But the fact is that these were independent, sovereign states. They were not one country the way that we think of it today. Anyway, it's 1783, and these 13 states are a coalition, like an alliance, and they have exactly what they fought for, what they wanted, which was independence. They disbanded the big army that they needed to fight off the British, and they went about figuring out how they wanted to do government, each of them doing it in their own way. But they wanted to have a Congress to make sure that they could talk about certain things. Every state would get one vote, and that's it. The Congress was a very weak thing. It was there to basically settle disputes between the states, to be the representation when doing foreign affairs, like talking to other countries or talking to the native tribes, which there was a lot of negotiation having to happen there. But they can't make any binding laws, and they can't enforce taxes. They have no power to do that. It's kind of like the UN or NATO. We are an alliance, but we can't force you to do anything. And the real power to do anything was up here with the states, not down here with a little baby Congress. So let's check in on the 1780s and see how they're doing.
13 separate, independent
A
states.
shit show?
Each had its own tariff and trade regulations and its own money. Each state was sovereign.
So it's not going great. In theory, they were all so excited. They won, they beat the British. It was like this whole big experiment, and it was just not going great at first. There's border disputes. The states all have different trade rules, and they're putting tariffs on each other.
I see here that you have 100 of these kegs of nails in transit from New York to Connecticut. Now, the tariff on these
The tariff on those. How can the state of New York levy a tariff on nails to be sold in the state of Connecticut?
Maryland and Virginia are fighting over the rights to navigate their shared river, the Potomac, in the same way that two countries do this today. Meanwhile, the Congress, the one thing that binds them all together, is trying to figure this out and resolve disputes between them, but is finding it has no power to do any of it. No one cares. They try to hold meetings to be like, okay, so let's settle our problems here. We need to have a unified trade policy, and it's like no one's showing up to the meetings. But there's one guy who's watching all of this, and his mind is spinning. He sees how broken this system is. He's seen that the states can't even work out trade because no one is in charge. And he, by the way, I'm talking about James Madison, the father of the Constitution, he spends his time studying democracies, like all the democracies you can imagine from all of time, little democracy experiments that have never been done on a huge scale. And he's trying to figure out what the Americans can learn to do this right. He's writing letters to his friends about the, quote, thinness of Congress and how it's been an obstacle. Meanwhile, things continue to get really bad in the Confederacy. American merchant ships start to be attacked and captured off the coast of North Africa, and there's no navy to protect them. Meanwhile, to just rub in their face how much their new country isn't working, Britain hasn't left. Their military is still in American territory. And guess what? There's nothing the Americans can do about it. Yes, they have a treaty saying they're independent, that the British should leave, but the British are like, we're staying. Fort Niagara, Fort Detroit, we're staying until you kick us out. Meanwhile, the super weak Congress is in debt to make matters worse, and they're like, we need money, let's raise some taxes. Trigger, says all the states at the same time because they don't like taxes. And remember, this is like NATO, so all the Congress can do is ask or beg for money, and the states are like, no, we're not paying, and they don't, and it's a total crisis. Meanwhile, the states themselves have to raise taxes because they're also in debt from the war, and their people are hating it, especially in Massachusetts, where all these farmers who just got done fighting a war about taxes are now being taxed by their government, and the government's threatening to take away their land, and this is just bad.
We're not going to stand by and watch the people lose their homes. See, you take away their land. This is unlawful rebellion against the sovereign state of Massachusetts.
Boy, wouldn't it be nice if we had a military to go put down the rebellion in Massachusetts? Alas, we are Confederation. Nope. Everything continues to devolve into chaos. And you know who's most bummed? George Washington, hero of the Revolutionary War. He's sitting there in retirement in his house in Virginia, and he's watching the grand American experiment just crumble before his eyes. And he actually finds it really embarrassing. He's writing letters to his friends, calling it the disunited states. That's good. Saying that, quote, we're fast verging on anarchy and confusion. And he tells his friends that unless the United States can get it together, quote, we shall soon molder into dust and become contemptible in the eyes of Europe, the laughingstock. They're now just total failures, and George Washington is super embarrassed. So more and more, the leaders of these 13 states are realizing that things need to change. And none more passionate than our guy, James Madison, back in the story. He says it's time to talk, and he gets his state, Virginia, to call for a conference with all of the states, these conferences that no one ever comes to. He's like, we're gonna get them all to come, and we're gonna tell them that things need to change. He invites all the 13 states. It's gonna happen in Annapolis, Maryland, the big conference to save their revolution. They set a date, they send out the invites, and when the day for the big meeting comes, only 5 states show up. Like not even half. Man, a total bust. Now there is one guy who shows up who was
okay. So if they're struggling so much, why aren't they doing anything to fix it? Like they just don't want to show up. I don't understand. But if everyone is in debt from the war, why don't you want to do something?
George Washington's old assistant from the war.
Alexander Hamilton,
My name is...
He too is on board with the fact that this isn't working. Calls it a national humiliation. He wants to fix it as well. So he and Madison are bonding over their embarrassment of the Confederation. And Hamilton's like, all right,
I will call another meeting. I'll get everyone on board and we're gonna fix this thing.
Congress agrees, and soon there's another meeting on the books, this time in Philadelphia. The goal of this meeting will be to revise the system, to change it, and to fix it so that it actually works. James Madison is, of course, stoked on this, but something is eating at him. After all of his studying of every democracy experiment that has existed, he is feeling sure about something, which is that a revision to the current system is not going to work. It's going to have to be scrapped completely and rebuilt from the ground up. There has to be a strong, centralized government, one thing, a blob that actually has power over all 13 states. People are going to hate this idea, Madison knows, but the bigger problem is, what if no one shows up to this meeting? What if they don't take it seriously? So James Madison goes back to his friend and fellow Virginian, George Washington, and begs him to come. Like,
George, everyone loves you. If you're on the guest list, all the states will send their best people and people will feel reassured that we're not remaking the government into tyranny. That's like your whole brand. Please come.
Okay, fine.
It's hot in here. Will somebody open the window?
No, they're gonna hear us. So it's 1787 and these guys are sitting around admitting to themselves that their system is not working. They need to change it. And James Madison is wondering how on earth he is going to break it to the group that everything needs to change. He can't be the front man himself, he's not prestigious enough. He needs a higher profile Virginian than he, and he chooses this guy, Edmund Randolph, Virginia's governor, to sell the plan to the group. The governor gets up there and reminds everyone something very important about the Articles of Confederation, which is that if they want to revise the Articles of Confederation, it requires every state to agree on the revision. To get 100% agreement is going to be really, really hard. So, what if we start from scratch? Madison's loving this. He's like, good job, Edmund. You did great up there. But not so fast, says the delegate from New Jersey. We're not gonna scrap our entire system. We just need to beef up the Congress with a few more powers and we're good.
You'll see I've enlarged the revenue powers of the Congress, but maintained the principle of equal
What is this movie that he keeps clipping?
representation for every state.
I am particularly pleased with this.
Madison's shaking his head over there. He's been waiting for this moment for years. He knows what needs to happen. He spent way too much time on this to let friggin' New Jersey mess it up. So he jumps into the debate himself. He says, listen guys, I've been studying every republic that has ever been tried, and I see that our problem is too much power in the hands of the states. We're all just going to bicker and cheat each other and ignore national laws, and that's exactly what's happening. If we keep this up, everything will collapse. We need a stronger central government, which I know you're all very skeptical of because of Britain, but I think I know how we can build one that won't get out of control and turn into tyranny. He makes the case, it resonates, and the people agree to go with the Madison Plan. The Virginia Plan is what it's called. It becomes the basis for scrapping the entire system of the lukewarm League of Friendship and starting something totally new. And it kicks off 3 sweaty months of debate. They have a lot to debate. How will the states and people be represented in the Congress? Some states have a lot of people, some states have very few. Do they all get the same representation? Or should the states with more people have more representation in the new powerful Congress? Also, should we have a head of state that is like one person who represents us? Sounds an awful lot like a king, but we kind of need someone who can make fast decisions, represent us abroad. How much power should they have? What about slavery? That's legal in a lot of these states, and the basis of the entire economy for several of them. Are slaves counted in the population numbers for representation? Could Congress ban the slave trade? How should voting work? Who's gonna collect the taxes? Should judges be chosen, elected? How much power should the states retain? Should we be able to change the Constitution if we mess something up? And it was draft after draft after draft, revision and rewrite until September 1787, when they finally emerged with this.
The Constitution, the sacred charter of we the people.
This is the document that creates a new set of rules, a new governmental design to rescue their grand experiment. The rule book for the first ever large-scale experiment with representative government, and the solution to the United States 1.0. So it actually took me all of that context to feel like I could finally approach the Constitution, this thing I've been hearing about my entire life, and understand why it was written the way it was.
Yeah, I know nothing about the actual Constitution itself. I know it exists, but they didn't teach me shit.
I now see the Constitution as a reaction to 3 major lessons that were learned from the failure of the Articles of Confederation. Lesson number 1, having a very weak central government that can't really do anything is bad. We all just saw what a disaster that was. So the fix was to create a central government with actual power. They call it a national government. It is no longer a confederation. And the new government has some serious real powers this time. It can actually tax Americans directly. It can have an army. It can regulate the economy, commerce between the states. No more random tariffs and border disputes about navigation rights. So that was lesson number 1, a stronger government, which is what everyone agreed they needed. The other big lesson is the classic one that we've been talking about the whole time, that you can't have too much power concentrated in that government. Remember, the whole revolution was about an out-of-touch, far-away, overly powerful, unrepresentative government that was imposing taxes. People are still really worried about this. It didn't go away. So the new system had to account for that. They need to make this new government king-proof to make sure that not one person or group gets too much power for too long. And their solution is
well, that didn't fucking work.
Spread the power out in a lot of different places. Specifically, they were leaning on the work of a French guy named Charles, who we call Montesquieu, who had been writing about the separation of powers. And even the states themselves had been kind of experimenting with this. And the idea was that in every government, there are 3 sorts of power. That's Charles talking. And the 3 sorts of power are the writing of the law, the enforcing of the law, and the settling disputes of the law.
If you're serious about doing
fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, it really
this is super interesting. I didn't know anything about any of this. Like, I knew about the Boston Tea Party and shit, but I didn't know that there was like a 13-year gap in between like the demand of independence and the Constitution. I thought they were like back to back.
Having a Congress like in the old model will branch the power of the government into 3 parts. The Congress will write the laws, the executive branch will enforce them, and a court system will settle disputes within the law. Let's do a data viz using the Constitution, chopping it up into its 7 chapters, or articles. These first 3 are the 3 branches of government, and this big monster, which is actually 2 pages that we had to put together for this little data viz, is the Congress, the branch of the government that writes the laws. It is the first and by far the longest section of the Constitution. It's the one that they thought the longest and hardest about because it is the most important in a representative democracy. It is the Congress that makes the laws that we all have to abide by. It is the Congress that could take money from people in taxes. It's the Congress that declares war on other countries. It's a lot of power centralized in one branch of government. So to decentralize it even more, they split it into 2. Now, to pass a law, both of these Congresses have to agree on the verbatim wording of the law. Forces them to compromise, to negotiate. Yet another trick to stop any one person or group from getting too much power. Okay, next you have the executive branch. This is the president. So they did indeed settle on having a single head of state. The president has to sign the laws that the Congress makes. They're supposed to make sure that whatever laws Congress passes, that they're enforced, that people are actually following them, and if they're not, that they are facing justice. But it wouldn't be a prime minister, it wouldn't be elected by the Congress. It was something new. And it would be kind of the face of the nation, the representative of the United States to other countries. The president would be able to make decisions quickly, to act fast in case of a crisis, like a bunch of farmers storming.
Yeah, well, that went to shit. Our current president has the brain capacity of a toddler.
You take away their land!
And he would command the military. But importantly, the president was not to be a king. He could only spend money if Congress gave him that money. The Congress could even kick him out at any point, and he would have to be elected. Okay, now the 3rd branch of government is this little tiny one here, the Supreme Court. This would be judges who would settle ambiguity or disputes between the states and about the laws that Congress had made and that the president enforces. The judges would be appointed by the president and approved by the Congress. So this is how Madison and Co. convinced the group to let there be a properly centralized government, to split it up in all these clever ways. But wait, the states were not about to give up all of their power, to go from like sovereign entities to like having no power at all. So baked into this Constitution is a fourth branch of power, which is the states themselves. The states would be in charge of handling everything else that the federal government doesn't handle. Elections, education, property law. If you steal a horse, you'd be tried in a state court, not a federal court. Like, most important things are happening at the state level. And of course, all of this power would be derived from the people it governs. Everyone would have to stand for some kind of accountability to the people. Something that would allow the people to kick their leaders out if they didn't like how they were being governed. But wait, there's a snag here. And this gets us to our third and final big lesson that this document solves for. Remember that one time when Massachusetts needed to pay back its war debt and it like taxed its people and then they like stormed the government and it was a rebellion?
We're here to get justice.
Yeah, no one forgot about that. And in fact, James Madison was very skeptical of the passions of the people. What happens if they're just frustrated one year and they just upend the whole system? Mob rule, pissed off masses acting in the impulse of the moment. Or in their words, the turbulence and weakness of unruly passions. These are elite, landowning white dudes. They didn't really have a lot of respect for the masses.
The people should
They
have
never do.
immediately as little to do as may be about the government. The people want for information and are constantly liable to be misled.
So their solution was to limit where the will of the people could have direct impact. They make it so that the Congress, remember it's split into two, has one half that is directly representative of the people. The House of Representatives would give a representative to every 30,000 people or so, and they'd be elected every 2 years, so voters can easily replace them. This house would be responsive to the will of the people. But then the other house, the Senate, would be completely different. Each state, regardless of how many people, would have 2 senators. And the senators would only be up for election every 6 years. Oh, and at first, the people didn't even vote for the senators. They would be elected by each state's legislature. And yes, the state legislatures would be elected by the people, so there is still representation here, but it was super indirect. And since a law can only pass if both houses approve it, you now have a Congress where even if the angry masses of the House of Representatives are clamoring for some radical new law, the Senate, which is less directly exposed to the masses, would be able to have a level head about it, to think more long-term, to think it through and only pass it if they deem it good for the country. Oh, and they did this weird non-democracy thing for the president too. The president is elected every 4 years, not by the people, but rather by a weird mishmash of a bunch of other methods. And hold on to
Yeah,
your...
presidential elections are stupid because the people don't really have much say in the president's election.
hats for this one. The president would get picked by a special group of people who are called electors. Electors would be chosen by each state however they want, with states getting a number of electors basically proportional to its population. Then the electors from this electoral college, like college, not like that college, but like a group of colleagues or an association, that kind of college. Anyway, they vote on behalf of their states and they choose a president. I mean, it's so freaking convoluted. It was convoluted back then. It's still pretty convoluted today, but at least we like vote ourselves and we feel like we're choosing the president. And then thirdly, while we're talking about too much democracy, they made sure that the judges wouldn't be elected, that the judges could serve for life, they'd be chosen by the president, serve for life, and they would ideally not be exposed to the incentives of politics, that they would be neutral and only focused on interpreting the law, which like, that worked out for a while. So yeah, the people are connected to the government in a real way, but it's very indirect, and that is intentional.
If you struggle with focus, this sound.
Yeah, we don't have any say in the president at all, really. I mean, we can definitely influence our electoral votes, but also like not really. Like they pretty much make up their mind beforehand.
Okay, so that's it. That is what they did to replace the failure of America 1.0. This design that was meant to keep power out of the hands of a few people and to change the old way where subjects are ruled by kings to now citizens being ruled by law. And yes, there's democracy here, but it's not like a full-fledged democracy. It's very diluted and indirect. The power is spread all over the place, which means making the government work will require the branches to work together. There must be compromise if they want to get anything done. They need to share power. They need to stop each other if one side is getting too powerful. And everyone loved it. Oh wait, no, not everyone loved it. There's a bunch of people who hated this, people who were in the room. And there's a bunch of people who didn't sign it, including Edmund Randolph, the frontman for James Madison, for selling the whole plan of a centralized government. He doesn't sign it? Yeah, he was like, this is way too much power to give to the central government. In fact, he said, this plan contains, quote, the fetus of monarchy. Which I'm like, this is a prophecy for today. So he doesn't sign the Constitution. And in fact, even the ones who wrote the Constitution, who did sign it, knew that this was incomplete. And so they actually baked in something here at the end. This little nub. It's the section that's like, in case we get something wrong or forgot an important thing section. It's how the Constitution can be changed. Thomas Jefferson was big on this. He was like, you might as well try to wear the same coat you wore as a kid when you're an adult. What? Meaning, the system's gonna change. We need to upgrade our clothes. We need this thing to be flexible. Everyone agrees, the states ratify it. George Washington becomes the first president. And to help calm those people who felt like this was way too much power to give to the government, they immediately passed 10 amendments to the Constitution that explicitly codified what the government can't mess with. The freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom to bear arms, all of these things to make sure that people feel comfortable with this new system, even in spite of all the power it gives the central government. But it's kind of just the beginning. And in fact, I'm interested in what happens next. Because once they ratify this thing, this document goes under some stress tests as the country grows, almost rips itself apart in a civil war, but somehow the Constitution endures and flexes. I would love to hear your questions in the comments, anything that you want to know about how our government works today, how the Constitution is held up. Thanks for being here, and thanks to all of those who support us over at New Press with your ideas.
I think that this Constitution has a lot of systematic racism and a lot of things that do not benefit the U.S. as is today. I think the Constitution is very old and outdated. I think we should burn the system down and rebuild because it's not working right now. It pretty much went to shit after 2016. Well, it wasn't good before, but yeah, I think we should burn it down. Next video, the most disturbing U.S. cover-up of all time. Do we really want to... This one's... no, we're not gonna do that one because it's 47 minutes. It's a super long video and it's mostly just like documents. Did the government create the Unabomber? This one should be fun. This one's 30 minutes. Lock in.
June 24th, 1993. A computer science professor at Yale walks into his office and opens a package. There's a bomb inside the package. The bomb goes off, destroys the man's right hand, shatters his right eye, and by the time he reaches the hospital, his blood pressure is at 0. This video is about that man, the man who sent that bomb while living in a cabin in Montana with no electricity, no running water, and for 17 years, the FBI could not find him. His name was Ted Kaczynski, and the story that you might know about him is about 10% of what actually happened. Because before he was the Unabomber, and before the cabin, and before the bombs, and before the manifesto, Ted Kaczynski was a 16-year-old kid who got into Harvard on a scholarship. And what happened to him there is something that Harvard has worked pretty hard to try and cover up, pretty much. Also, that Yale professor, the one who lost his hand at the top of this video for opening that package in 1993, 33 years later, today, well, a couple weeks ago, he was suspended from Yale for emailing a convicted sex offender about young women. That is Jeffrey Epstein, the world's...
For sure. Okay.
Small place. Ted Kaczynski was born on May 22nd, 1942 in Chicago to a working-class Polish-American family. His father made sausages, one of 3 jobs available to the Polish during the 1940s.
I don't know anything about the Unabomber, so this is my first time hearing about this.
His mother, Wanda, was sharp well-read, and she poured everything she had into making sure her kids were educated. By all accounts, Ted was a normal baby, happy, laughing, goo-goo, gagaing, etc., engaged with the world around him. And then something happened that his family would talk about for the rest of their lives. When Ted was about 9 months old, he had a severe allergic reaction and was hospitalized for several days. And at this time, the hospital wouldn't let his parents visit.
This one says several months.
Policy at the time, the parents were not allowed in. And his mother described what came back to her as a different child. Before the hospital, Ted was a laughing, active baby, and after the hospital, he had completely shut down. He stopped smiling, stopped making eye contact, and it took weeks for his parents to get him to trust them again. Now, a lot of people will hear that and think that that's a very small thing, a baby in a hospital for a few days, but attachment researchers will tell you that separation trauma at that extremely young age can fundamentally rewire how a child relates to other people for the rest of their life. And when you look at the next chapters...
Yeah, also isolation in general just isn't good. It said months, though. It didn't say days.
It's kind of hard not to keep that in mind and think about, you know, what happened at the hospital in that event. Ted grew up in Evergreen Park, Illinois, which is a suburb south of Chicago, and from the beginning, two things were obvious. He was extraordinarily intelligent, and he was extraordinarily alone. Ted's IQ tested at 167 points, which, to put that in context, is higher than Einstein's estimated IQ and as high as Ivan Drago's from Rocky IV. All right.
Okay, what?
Dolph Lundgren, very high IQ. Whatever that means. His parents even had him skip 6th grade.
Great news.
So he was a genius, and he wasted all that potential on a post office bomb, and that's kind of sad.
Has a level, and you get free daily cases for
grade.
Could have done a lot more with that.
And then they had him skip 11th grade, which meant that by the time he was in a classroom with other kids, he was always 2 years younger than basically everyone around him. He later described himself as, quote, a social cripple, and he blamed his parents for what he called destroying his life by advancing him those 2 grades. A lot of people, when they hear or tell the Ted Kaczynski story, start with Harvard or the cabin or, you know, the bombs. It's important to note that he saw himself as a social cripple or a social outcast. Ted's brother David, born in 1949, would later describe Ted as someone who was brilliant but had trouble connecting to the people around him, which that's starting to track.
I mean, most brilliant people do, though.
I skipped 2 grades and graduated high school when I was 15. I think the main difference between me and Ted Kaczynski is that I am stupid. That's the big thing. My IQ is, let's see, what's room temperature? Yeah, 78. Big main difference, really. The family spent time together on camping trips, canoe trips, classic 50s and 60s shit.
I did an IQ test online, and it said it was 134. I don't know how good that is. Is that considered good? I don't know. I think it's above average, but also I'm not sure.
And David looked up to his older brother. But even within his own family, Ted was always somewhere else. In 1958, at the age of 15, Ted Kaczynski was accepted to Harvard. He showed up on campus at age 16 on a full scholarship, a child from a sausage maker's family in Chicago walking into one of the most prestigious universities on the planet, and he was 2 years younger than every other freshman. And during his sophomore year, a psychology professor named Henry Murray recruited him for a study. Ted was 17 years old, and what happened during that study is something that Harvard sealed in a vault in the year 2000 and has never since opened it. Obviously,
What did they find out about him?
For the sake of exposition, to fully understand what happened to Mr. Kaczynski at Harvard, we have to understand the man who did it to him. Henry Murray was a Harvard psychology professor, which would be like calling J. Robert Oppenheimer a physicist. Sure, it's true, but it's kind of like beside the point a bit, you know? Before Harvard, Murray spent World War II as a lieutenant colonel for the OSS, which is the direct predecessor to the CIA. His job was selecting and training spies. He designed psychological stress tests to figure out which recruits could handle interrogation, deception, and extreme pressure without breaking. He developed methods for interrogating POWs, prisoners of war.
Not the person you want to be around your 17-year-old.
He profiled Adolf Hitler for the US government and wrote an entire psychological breakdown of how Hitler's mind actually worked. And then the war ended and Henry Murray went back to Harvard. But clearly he did not stop experimenting. In 1959, Murray launched a study with an official title designed to sound as boring as possible. He called it multiform assessments of personality development among gifted college men. This test turned out to be a sort of Enneagram test for domestic terrorists, it seems like. Kind of slightly different. 22 Harvard undergrads were recruited, and Ted Kaczynski at 17 was one of them. And his assigned code name was Lawful, which is an interesting code name. Students were told that they'd be participating in a debate about personal philosophy. They were asked to write detailed essays about their most deeply held beliefs, their worldviews, their aspirations, and, according to multiple sources, their sexual desires and erotic fantasies. They were told that in a day or two they'd sit down with a fellow student and debate the merits of their individual philosophies.
And they were asking a 17-year-old about this stuff?
But unfortunately, that is not what happened. Instead, each student was brought into a room one at a time with bright lights aimed at their faces, electrodes strapped to their bodies, their heart rates and other biometrics measured, like their blood pressure.
What the fuck?
And their galvanic skin response. Then, in the room, they were filmed through a one-way mirror. There were obviously cameras behind that mirror rolling. And instead of a fellow student, they were facing a law student who had been given what Murray called a psychological battle plan. And this law student had read the most personal things these kids had ever written down, and this law student's job was to use that material to psychologically destroy them. Murray described
why though
methodology himself. His own words were, the attacks were vehement, sweeping, and personally abusive. The intent, in Murray's own framing, was to catch the student by surprise or to deceive them, bring them to anger, ridicule their beliefs, and brutalize them. And then, after the session was over, Murray made the students sit down and watch the filmed footage of their own humiliation. Ted Kaczynski went through this for 3 years with...
Oh my God. He already felt like an outsider, and then they just poked and prodded at him for 3 fucking years. How did Harvard allow any of this to happen?
Over 200 hours of sessions from the time he was 17 years old until he graduated in 1962. His brother David would later say that every week for 3 years, someone met with him to verbally abuse and humiliate him. But it's important to note, Ted himself was dismissive about it. He said the experiments had, quote, no significant effect on the course of his life. He claimed there was only one unpleasant experience that lasted about 30 minutes. But that's pretty confusing and doesn't really seem to track, because in 1962, the same year that Murray ended the study, Kaczynski wrote in his personal notes that he, quote, became hostile towards technology. So that, among other subjects from the study, reported being haunted by the experience for more than 25 years. So it's possible that this had a lasting effect. Now, the big open question with a seemingly obvious answer is, was this directly connected to the CIA? I don't know. We don't know. That's not for sure.
It probably
and that
was.
would certainly be by design. MK Ultra, which you've surely heard of, was a real CIA program authorized in 1953 by CIA Director Allen Dulles. It was run by a chemist named Sidney. And MK Ultra had 149 sub-projects spread across more than 80 universities and
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
It seems plausible that this could have been one of them.
Dude, the CIA does so much shit, or did so much shit at the expense of the American people. Like the crack outbreak in LA, that was the CIA. Like the systematic racism on black people, like they've been sabotaging black communities for decades. Like the CIA doesn't give a shit about the American people as long as it benefits like the wealth of America.
For example, they dosed people with LSD without their knowledge, they ran sensory deprivation experiments, and they tested psychological torture techniques on
some of those experiments were Stranger Things was based off of.
Unwitting American citizens. One of their own scientists, Frank Olson, was secretly given LSD and 9 days later fell from a 13th story hotel window.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously called it a suicide. But his family got an apology from Gerald Ford and a $750,000 settlement. So I don't know if that's, how suicides work. But in 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered the destruction of all MK Ultra files. His explanation under oath was, quote, since the program was over and finished and done with, we thought we would just get rid of all the files as well so that
that is not okay.
Anybody who assisted us in the past would not be subject to follow-up questions or embarrassment, if you will. Protecting them from embarrassment. That makes sense. The government loves protecting people from embarrassment. So the records that could tell us whether or not Murray's Harvard study was an MK Ultra sub-project were conveniently destroyed on purpose to prevent embarrassment. Now, there are some things that we do know. We do know that Murray had a direct background in the CIA and OSS. His methodology aligned almost perfectly with
the CIA definitely had him do this.
MK Ultra's documented objectives. Multiple sources report his study was funded by the CIA, the Pentagon, and the Rockefeller Foundation. And Harvard, in 2000, when journalists started asking questions, did not open the records and instead sealed them permanently to prevent embarrassment. That's my guess. Comment down below what your guess is. Whether or not the CIA was directly signing the checks, a 17-year-old kid at Harvard was subjected to years of
this is literally, it's just psychological abuse. Like, they got rid of the documents so that there was no proof of it happening.
Psychological abuse by a former intelligence officer using interrogation techniques developed for enemy combatants. And then he ended up sending bombs in the mail to kill people. So that happened, that's documented, and then Harvard sealed the file permanently. Rachel Corbett, who published a book about this in October of 2025 called The Monsters We Make, actually got her hands on a transcript from one of Kaczynski's sessions, and in it, the interrogator called his thinking insipid and asinine. Slight side tangent, that same Harvard, the one that did this to a 17-year-old kid in 1959, would later accept $9 million from Jeffrey Epstein and give him a private office on campus because, you know, it's all about academia and learning and stuff, right? Same institution. Predator, you know, it's really, it's kind of a moot point, but it's really important to continuously remember that these are all like the same sort of people in the same kind of class. That's what we're talking about. After Harvard, Ted Kaczynski did what
is that television show about? It's not a television show, it's a YouTube video. It's about if the government created the Unabomber.
They graduate school. He entered the university.
They 100% did, just to catch you up. It was definitely them.
Of Michigan in 1962 and specialized in a branch of mathematics called geometric function theory, which is so confusing and abstract that his doctoral advisor...
What is the Unabomber? It was the guy that sent a box I think they sent it to Harvard, and then the guy who opened it, it was like a big mailroom. He opened it, and it was a bomb that exploded.
Alan Shields called Ted's dissertation the best I have ever directed. By the way, I looked into this shit, and it is really confusing. It'd be like I'm trying to think about it. How would I think about this stuff? It'd be like using math to create functions that explain how game's too hard.
Oh, for sure. Just add. I need to get YouTube Premium. This is unbelievable. I'm just getting like fucking railed right now. Party time? All right.
There's warp your reflection. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. I think it's used in video games and like the machine language programming for graphics. Another committee member, Maxwell Reed, said he guessed maybe 10 or 12 people in the entire country could understand or appreciate that dissertation. The dissertation was called Boundary Functions, and it was a 100-page handwritten proof of a problem that had gone unsolved, and it won the Summer B. Myers Prize for the best math dissertation at Michigan that year. That's insane. Dude is really smart. So in 1967, at the age of 25 years old, Ted Kaczynski became an assistant professor at UC Berkeley. He was the youngest professor the university had ever hired, a 25-year-old professor. And on paper, everything was working perfectly for Ted. Ivy League degree, prestigious PhD, tenure track position at one of the best universities in the country, all before he's 26 years old. But something was wrong! Obviously, something was very wrong, and the people around him could feel it.
Yeah, they psychologically destroyed him. Like, he's not a normal person anymore.
Name it. His colleagues at Berkeley would later say that they remembered almost nothing about him. He taught his classes, he showed up, he went home, he had no friendships, no mentors, no after-work drinks, no faculty dinners. He was a ghost who taught calculus, essentially. And then on June 30th, 1969, without any explanation, Ted Kaczynski resigned. The department chairman, John Addison, wrote to Ted's doctoral advisor and described the resignation as, quote, quite out of the blue. Nobody knew why Ted resigned. Ted never explained it. He just did. He just quit. He moved back to his parents' house in Lombard, Illinois at age 27 and lived in his childhood bedroom.
Oh, he only did it for 2 years.
There for 2 years, doing essentially nothing. And then in 1971, he moved to a piece of land outside Lincoln, Montana, and built a cabin with his own hands. 10 foot by 12 foot, a loft for sleeping, no electricity, no running water. He grew vegetables, hunted wabbits, and taught himself to live entirely off the land. He later wrote, quote, "I hate the system not because of some abstract humanitarian principle, but because I hated living in the system. I got out of it by getting into the mountains, but the system still would not let me alone." But after a few years, it seemed to work. He was alone and he was free, and he was as far away from Harvard and Berkeley and all of it as a person could get. But then the logging started. The wilderness around his cabin, the one thing he'd chosen over everything else, started being torn apart. Roads were cut through forests he'd walked for years. Trees he'd known were gone overnight. And something building within this person that had been building for a very long time, potentially even since the allergic reaction as a baby, since the classrooms where he never fit in, since whatever Murray did to him at Harvard, since whatever made him walk away from a career that most smart people would kill for, that thing finally found a direction. And on May 25th, 1978, a package appeared in a parking lot at Northwestern University. That was the first bomb from the Unabomber. The first bomb was addressed to a materials engineering professor at...
Oh, there was multiple. Okay, so he's called the Unabomber because he just bombed universities.
Northwestern named Buckley Christ. But the package was found in a parking lot at the University of Illinois in Chicago with Christ's return address on it. It was sent back to Northwestern where a campus police officer named Terry Marker opened it and it detonated. It caused minor injuries, nobody died. It was a clumsy, amateurish bomb, but it was the beginning of the career of the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. A year later, there was another bomb at Northwestern. A graduate student named John Harris picked up what looked like a present left in a common room. It exploded, and once again, there were minor injuries. And then Ted Kaczynski did something that changed the scale of what he was doing entirely. On November 15th, 1979, he put a bomb in the cargo hold of American Airlines Flight 444, flying from Chicago to Washington, D.C. The bomb detonated mid-flight, smoke filled the cabin, and the plane had to make an emergency landing. 12 passengers were treated for smoke inhalation, but nobody died. If that bomb had fully worked the way it was designed to, the plane would have most likely gone down. And that's when the FBI really started looking for this guy who's just mailing bombs. The FBI created the Unabomb Task Force, the University and Airline Bomber Task Force. The media shortened it to the Unabomber, and the name struck. And over the next several years, the bombs kept coming, and they kept getting more and more sophisticated. In June of 1980, he mailed a hollowed-out book to Percy Wood, the president of United Airlines. Wood opened it at his home in Lake Forest, Illinois, and the explosion caused severe injuries, partial blindness, and hearing loss. The book was published by Arbor House, whose logo was a tree, and the victim's last name was Wood. Ted really liked trees, it seemed. Ted then hit UC Berkeley twice, which was the university where he used to teach. In 1982, an engineering professor named, this is his real name, Diogenes Angelakos, picked up what looked like a tool left in a break room in Corey Hall, and it blew up in his face. 3 years later, in the exact same building, an Air Force captain named John Hauser, who was there as a graduate student, opened a package in the computer lab and lost 4 fingers and the vision in one of his eyes. Hauser wanted to be an astronaut, and Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, ruined that dream. In November of 1985, Ted sent a bomb to a psychology professor at the University of Michigan named James McConnell. McConnell's specialty was behavior modification, and he wrote a textbook called Understanding Human Behavior and published extensively on techniques for changing how people think and act. So a man who had been subjected to psychological experiments at Harvard sent a bomb to a psychologist who wrote about behavior modification. Now, we mentioned the logging earlier. The journaling was a big part of Ted's modus operandi. He was writing all this stuff down, and he referred to McConnell in his journal as a behavior modification researcher. He knew exactly who he was targeting and exactly
Yeah, I mean, if you live in a society that you feel so disconnected from, you get into this experiment that psychologically damages you, and then you're done with that experiment, and then you go into the world of constant repetition, being a teacher, just constant repetition, no social life, and then you decide to disconnect from that society, and then they still take away the thing that's holding you together. Like, if you experience that many things in that line, you're going to break. Like, the CIA is definitely responsible for some of this, I'd say, because that experiment on him psychologically damaged him and caused this spiral downwards, making him do this.
He knew exactly who he was targeting and exactly why. After many years of just mailing bombs and hurting people, the bombing campaign turned lethal on December 11th of 1985. Hugh Scruton owned a computer rental store in Sacramento called Rentec. He was 38 years old and walked out the back door of his shop, saw what looked like a piece of road debris in the parking lot, and picked it up. It was a bomb that was loaded with nails and splinters. It went off and killed him instantly, and Ted Kaczynski was now a murderer. In February of 1987, the owner of a computer store in Salt Lake City named Gary Wright noticed a piece of wood with nails in it near his employee's car, and when he moved it, it exploded and 200 pieces of shrapnel went through his body. But just moments before this happened, an employee inside the store looked out the back window and saw a man who looked like this. The classic Unabomber sketch. A man in a hoodie and aviator sunglasses in the parking lot. That description became the classic sketch. If you've ever seen the Unabomber image, the hooded figure with the dark glasses, it came from that one witness at that store on that day.
But that wasn't even him, was it?
This would be the only physical description the FBI had for almost a decade of the Unabomber. So after the event at the Utah computer store, there was a 6-year gap from 1987 to 1993. There was nothing. It was all silence. Ted was on a bit of a hiatus, but when he came back with 2 bombs in 2 days. The first was on June 22nd, 1993. A geneticist named Charles Epstein opened a padded envelope in the kitchen of his home in Tiburon, California. The explosion destroyed 3 fingers on his right hand, fractured his arm, and caused abdominal injuries and partial hearing loss. His wife was in the next room. And just to be very clear, Charles Epstein was not related to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Ted targeted
I did
Charles
actually have that question.
Epstein because he was the editor of the American Journal of Human Genetics, and Ted saw genetics research as technology.
Okay, so at this point, the FBI has to see some sort of theme here.
Manipulating nature itself, even though Epstein's actual work was focused on understanding Down syndrome. 2 days later, on June 24th, came the bomb that opened this video. David Gelernter at Yale. The package on his desk, the explosion that took his hand, the blood pressure at 0. After the bombing, Ted wrote a letter to the New York Times under his group name FC, which stood for Freedom Club. In it, he addressed Gelernter directly, quote, "People with advanced degrees aren't as smart as they think they are. If you'd had any brains, you would have realized that there are a lot of people out there who resent bitterly the way techno nerds like you are changing the world, and you wouldn't have been dumb enough to open an unexpected package from an unknown source." So he mocked the guy that he had nearly killed for not seeing it coming, saying that he was dumber than he thought he was. On December 10th, 1994, an advertising executive named Thomas Mosser was killed by a package bomb at his home in North Caldwell, New Jersey. He was supposed to be picking out a Christmas tree with his family that day, but his wife found him dead. Ted later explained the killing in a letter. He said Mosser's firm, Burson Marsteller, had helped Exxon clean up its image after the Exxon Valdez oil spill, and that made them a legitimate target. There was, however, one problem with that reasoning. Ted got the information from an Earth First newsletter, and it was wrong. Mosser had no connection to the Exxon Valdez account. Thomas Mosser was killed because Ted Kaczynski read something in a newsletter that wasn't true, which is very, very tragic. The final and last Unabomber bomb came on April 24th, 1995, and was sent to Gilbert Murray, the president of the California Forestry Association, and specifically the timber industry's lobbying arm. A female employee at the office was having trouble opening a package. Murray offered to help. He took it into his office and opened it. All in all, Ted Kaczynski killed 3 people and injured 23, and there were 16 bombs over 17 years. This is not where the story ends, though, because you've probably seen this book. After the last bomb, Ted Kaczynski did something that nobody really expected. He wrote a letter to the New York Times under the name FC, or Freedom Club once again, and he made an offer. He said, "Publish my manifesto, all 35,000 words of it, and I will stop." That put the FBI, the Justice Department, and 2 of the biggest newspapers in America in an impossible position. Do you give a terrorist a platform because he's threatening to kill people if you don't? I mean, probably, right? That doesn't really seem as bad as
Yeah,
the other terrorist
yeah, actually.
negotiations. Attorney General at the time, Janet Reno, and FBI Director Louis Freeh both recommended publication. Their reasoning was twofold. One, if they published it, the bombings would stop. Two, maybe someone out there would read it and recognize the writing. On September 19th, 1995, the Washington Post printed Industrial Society and Its Future as a full supplement. The New York Times split the cost, and a terrorist's 35,000-word manifesto was delivered to every doorstep in Washington, D.C., thanks to that publication. It's very complicated, to be honest, because most people heard manifesto and thought that this would be lunatic, incoherent ramblings that a dude scrawled in a cabin, but that is just not what it is. The first line reads, "The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race." And from there, it lays out a 232-paragraph argument about what technology does to people. Not what it could do, not someday, but what it was already doing in 1995. Because before smartphones existed, before social media, before algorithms, before any of the things we now take for granted that
Okay, like this is something you could have published without the bombs. I don't think the bombs were needed for the attention to be driven towards this.
A part of every aspect of our lives. His central concept is something that he calls the power process. The idea for that is simple. Human beings need to set goals, struggle to achieve those goals, and actually succeed through their own effort at some point. That's how people find meaning in their lives. And Kaczynski's argument is that modern industrial society has systematically removed that struggle from daily life. You don't have to hunt for food, you just go to a grocery store. You don't have to build shelter, you just pay rent. You don't solve problems that actually threaten your survival.
Oh my gosh. So many ads, hold on.
You solve problems your employer gives you so you can afford to keep existing inside of the system that they control. The Ponzi scheme run by satanic pedophiles, basically.
He's not saying anything false, though.
Aware of that. He called these replacement goals surrogate activities. Career climbing, consumerism, entertainment, addiction, things that feel like they matter in the moment but do not address any real, actual human need. He wrote about what he called over-socialization, or the idea that people get conditioned so deeply into society's rules that they feel genuine guilt and shame for even having thoughts that go against the norm. This was written in 1995, before cancel culture was even a thing that anybody thought would ever exist, before people were getting fired for tweets that they wrote 10 years ago. And then he wrote this: "The system does not and cannot exist to satisfy human needs. Instead, it is human behavior that has to be modified to fit the needs of the system." He's totally right. He predicted that technology would be introduced as optional and then completely restructure society so that living without it would become impossible. In 1995, you didn't need a smartphone to apply for a job. You didn't need an email address to talk to your doctor. You didn't need an internet connection to file your taxes, to access your bank account, or maintain basic relationships with people that you care about. Now you need all of that. To even get a job, you have to compete with AI resume scraping. It's insane. Not to mention Palantir or mass surveillance. He wrote about this for 2 decades before Edward Snowden proved it was happening. And now we have studies and money actually being put into proving that there is a genuine, real mental health crisis tied to technological dependency. In the year of our Lord, 2026...
Not the time. Not the time. I'm in the middle of something here. Okay. You done? Are we good? Okay,
Depression,
perfect.
anxiety, and suicide rates are at historic highs, and the research increasingly points at the same screens that we cannot put down if we want to fit into society. And then there's this, guys, this warning that technology would eventually, quote, acquire something approaching complete control over human behavior. Algorithms that decide what you see, what you think about, what you're angry about, what you buy, and most people don't even really understand or notice that that's happening. It's pretty scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, this was written in 1995, so there's clearly a lot is different than this, but on the whole, there's a stark amount of accuracy.
I think there's a lot more to social media than just the algorithm, though. Like, I definitely think they're watching. Because it's too, the timing of, like, the things I see on social media is too exact. Like, I started watching The Mentalist again, and then all of a sudden there's Mentalist TikToks on my For You page. But, like, how? because I didn't do anything on my phone to indicate that I was doing that, but somehow they still knew. And then they started putting mentalist content on my TikTok. I don't understand. I don't get it. There's definitely more to it than just the algorithm. There's no way that's
There's
it.
a ton wrong, okay? Or at least I hope it's wrong, okay? I really hope it's wrong. His thinking and the way that he looked at this was binary. It was just black or white. It's either technology or freedom. There is no middle ground. And it seems like, I mean, he dismissed any possibility that societies could self-correct, that regulation could work against technology, or that people could push back and still keep the things that technology does well. He had a very romantic, primitive view of all of this stuff. Go back to the land, live like it's the 1700s, which sounds pretty cool until, you know, you have to start getting rid of like modern medicine and things like that. So absolutely a lot of accuracy, but also a bleak way to look at things, an extremist way to look at things, which nobody's going to argue against that. It is an extremist way to look at things, but the way that extremists look at things allows you to look at things differently. If you know,
I don't know. I think everything you said is pretty goddamn accurate. I mean, I'm streaming right now. Like this is what I want to be my future job, is on the internet. Like there's occupations on the internet now. Like he didn't necessarily say anything incorrect.
he did a really good job of pointing out the issue, but offering no viable alternative. He could diagnose the disease with a pretty unsettling accuracy, but he had no prescription. His prescription was to just mail bombs to people, which is not a realistic, moral solution. Because you can write the most brilliant critique of modern civilization that's ever been put on paper, but the moment that you mail bombs that kill people and maim over 20, you kind of forfeit your right to be taken seriously at a grand scale, because people don't really like murdering other people. That's kind of like a whole thing, Most people, at least.
I beg to differ.
That is the trap, the classic Ted Kaczynski conundrum. The diagnosis is partially right. Some of it is prescient, but the violence makes it almost impossible to engage with, all right? What's very interesting is that there are people in the techno-dork world that actually understood this to a level in which I will never be able to pretend to understand. Bill Joy co-founded Sun Microsystems, a company that you have objectively heard about. Either that or you've used something. You've used something that's touched something of theirs, for sure. One of the most important technology companies of the 1990s. In April 2000, he published an essay in Wired magazine called Why the Future Doesn't Need Us. And in it, he acknowledged that Kaczynski was, in his words, criminally insane, but he also admitted he saw some merit in the technological warnings. One of the architects of the internet age read the Unabomber's manifesto and said, yes, some of this is correct. Now that's some nuance, guys. I like that. That's cool. We need more people like that. Bill Joy, or whatever his name was. Forgot already. Now, Ted Kaczynski's still in the wild, all right? He releases his manifesto officially. The whole government publishes it. Everybody's reading it, talking about it. So the gambit worked on both sides. Ted K stopped bombing, and people took some level of, granular truth from the manifesto. But somewhere in Schenectady, New York, a man named David Kaczynski picked up the Washington Post and started reading his own brother's manifesto. He didn't realize what he was reading at first. Certain phrases jumped off of the page, things that sounded exactly like Ted, themes he'd heard his brother talk about for years. And then one phrase stopped him cold. You can't eat your cake and have it too. Most people say it the other way around. You can't have your cake and eat it too, but the Kaczynski family always said it Ted's way. Their mother insisted that that was the correct phrasing. So David would later describe waking up some mornings convinced it couldn't be his brother, and other mornings waking up and knowing the truth was staring him directly in the face. For weeks, David oscillated between
Abraham Lincoln. Oh my gosh, this guy's making bank off me. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get YouTube Premium, I promise.
So David hired a private investigator named Susan Swanson out of Chicago to quietly look into Ted's activities. Then he hired a Washington, D.C. attorney named Tony Bisceglie to organize everything and make contact with the FBI. They found a bunch, they organized it, they gave it to the federal authorities. He was told that the death penalty would not be on the table, and that turned out not to be true. Attorney General Janet Reno pushed for the death penalty anyway. And
why wouldn't it be on the table? They were handing out the death penalty like it was candy back then. Why wouldn't it be on the table? He bombed like 15 people.
He had turned in his brother to save lives, and now the government was trying to take his brother's life with the information that David had given them. At the FBI, a profiler named James Fitzgerald did something that had never been done in a case this big. He took the manifesto and compared it word for word and phrase by phrase against old family letters that David had provided, letters that Ted had written years earlier. Using forensic linguistics, the idea that every person has a unique way of writing and patterns of grammar, word choice, sentence structure, all as a distinctive fingerprint of sorts, Fitzgerald's analysis concluded that the manifesto's author and the letter writer were almost certainly the same person. And that analysis became the basis for a search warrant, and on April 3rd, 1996, FBI agents arrived at a 10 by 12 foot cabin outside Lincoln, Montana. Ted Kaczynski answered the door, and inside the cabin, agents found a live bomb ready to be mailed. They found an original copy of the manifesto, and they found 40,000 pages of handwritten journals documenting basically everything. His daily life, his philosophy, his bomb-making experiments, and detailed accounts of every attack. He had logged it all. 17 years of terror logged by his own handwriting in a cabin smaller than most people's bedrooms. On January 22nd, 1998, Ted Kaczynski pleaded guilty to all federal charges in a Sacramento courtroom. The deal was life without parole in exchange for no death penalty, with 4 consecutive life sentences plus 30 years. $15 million in restitution that he would never obviously pay because he's a dirt guy. He was sent to ADX Florence, the federal supermax in Colorado, where he'd spend the next 23 years in a 7 by 12 foot cell, slightly smaller than the cabin that he built for himself. After the arrest, David Kaczynski set up the Unabomber Survivors Fund, where he took $630,000 of what was left of the reward money after legal fees and taxes and donated every cent to all the victims. He wrote letters, made phone calls, met with survivors in person, and apologized to every single one of them for what his brother had done. Ted never apologized to anyone ever, not one time. Not to the families of the 3 people he killed, not to the 23 he injured, not to
nobody really expected him to, let's be honest.
His own brother who gave up everything to stop him. David heard later, third hand through an attorney, that when Ted was told it was his brother who turned him in, he wouldn't believe it at first. He said, quote, "No, David loves me. He would never do such a thing. But alas, David does not like you very much, or at least he's got morals, it seems like. He's got morals. That's the main difference." Ted Kaczynski spent the rest of his life in prison, and in 2021, he was diagnosed with late-stage rectal cancer and was transferred to a federal medical center in Butner, North Carolina, where he underwent chemotherapy for about a year and a half before stopping treatment in early 2023. And a month before his death, staff noted he was depressed. He was sent for psychiatric evaluation, and on June 10th, 2023, at 12 in the morning, Ted Kaczynski was found hanging from a handicap rail in his cell with a shoelace tied around his neck. He was 81 years old. The boy who entered Harvard at 16, the subject codenamed Lawful, the youngest professor Berkeley ever hired, the man who lived in a 10 by 12 cabin and mailed bombs for 17 years, murdered 3 people, and maimed over 20. Dead by his own hand in a room not much different from where he started. Now, obviously, I have to talk about the Epstein connection. One of the guys who got blown up by Ted Kaczynski and is also implicated in the, well, not implicated in a really illegal sense, but rather talking about, he is implicated in the Epstein files, okay? David Gelernter. If you've been watching this video, you know that guy. This David is the Yale computer science professor who opened a package on June 24th, 1993 and lost his own right hand. So why was Ted Kaczynski interested in David?
Is that why he started talking to Epstein? Because he lost his right hand? It's a bad joke. That's a terrible joke. That's a terrible joke. We'll move on.
1991, 2 years before the bombing, Gelernter published a book called Mirror Worlds. And that book essentially predicted the World Wide Web before most people had ever heard of the internet. He was one of the people building the future that Ted Kaczynski was trying to stop. David's name appears in 563 entries in the DOJ's Epstein
Oh my god!
Document.
500?
They were somewhat close, it seems. How close were they? Well, in December of 2009, a literary agent named...
I don't think Epstein was really close with anybody in the Epstein files. I think he just got money out of giving them what they wanted.
John Brockman, who ran something called the Edge Foundation, forwarded an email from Gelernter to Epstein. Brockman was a connect...
The Edge Foundation? That is a poor choice of words. What'd you say? Oh, Tanner's back in the chat.
He made introductions between wealthy people and academics. He's the same person who introduced Epstein to scientists at MIT. Gelernter described Epstein as, quote, a sort of brooding, mystical appearance, and said he was willing to talk to him. So they started emailing each other, and they kept emailing each other for 6 years. This is after Jeffrey Epstein's conviction, sweetheart deal. They talked between 2009 to 2015. He was a registered sex offender at this time and pleaded.
Go recap. So basically, the Unabomber had an allergic reaction when he was like 9. He was kept in isolation for months and he went clinically insane. Not really. He didn't actually go insane, but it did definitely change his psychological behavior by a lot, because isolation from your parents at that young of an age can result in personality changes that last for the rest of your life. And then later, when he was 17, he was put into a Harvard experiment that he didn't know was an experiment until it started. And basically what they did was damage him psychologically, purposefully embarrass him, and try to aggravate him as much as possible to see how his psychological behavior would change. So basically, up until the age of 17, he was poked and prodded at and deliberately mistreated by very smart people. But also, that time in isolation whenever he was super young caused him to have a very high IQ, and he was also kind of a genius. After he was poked and prodded at from the Harvard scientists, he then became a professor at the young age of 25, the youngest professor they had ever hired. He only worked there for about 2 years until he went into his own form of isolation in the center of the woods in a 10 by something cabin that was very small. He lived in this cabin for a long time until people started destroying the trees that were outside of his cabin. This ticked him off, so then he started bombing people. He killed 2 or 3 and injured 15, I think is what they said. And then they finally, like, the FBI finally caught on to what was going on. They started investigating him. After 10 years, they had 0 leads, 0 ideas on who it might be. And then out of nowhere, the Unabomber decided, hey, I have a lot of power over the FBI right now. I'm going to use it. So then he decided to create this huge story, or not a story. He decided to create this huge paper that he had the New York Times release in exchange for not bombing any more people. So basically, he used the threat of him murdering more people as blackmail to get the New York Times to publish a paper. And basically what this paper, a summary of what it said was that technology is pretty much the end of humankind, which is not entirely incorrect. But he was saying this before technology, before the human race was so reliable on technology, he was saying this. So he basically predicted how much we rely on technology today. So he was a fucking genius. The Unabomber was a genius. And he also predicted a lot of the problems with mental health today. Like, it was, like, eerily close. Like, kind of, like, he's not better than The Simpsons, but he's probably, like, number 3. So he predicted a lot of things. He's a genius. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all that happened.
Guilty in 2008. All right, guys.
Oh, also, one of the people he killed had a connection to Epstein, so now that's what we're learning about.
Before the correspondence began, so no f***ing excuses, Gelernter. The big email is that in October 2011, Gelernter sent Epstein an email recommending a Yale student for what he described as a job at Epstein's firm. And this is the email. He's recommending her for a job and describing a student's appearance to a convicted sex offender. So pretty... 3 years after conviction, by the way, for soliciting a minor. Very, very classy, Gelernter, man. And this is Gelernter's excuse. He wrote to the dean of Yale's engineering school. His defense was, this one was obsessed with
Low-key wasn't listening. Can you say that again? Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Like every other unmarried billionaire in Manhattan. In fact, like every other heterosex male, and if I hadn't said what I did in that letter 10-odd years ago, he would certainly have called me and asked for a lot more aesthetic detail. And then he said, this is how men behave. What? Are you sure? He then said, I'm very glad I wrote the note. Wow, man, how's that right hand doing? On February 11th, 2006, Yale suspended him from teaching. Probably good. I'd watch him around, you know, girls, to be honest. It's not just him, though. It's how men behave. So anyways, Ted K is in the news because of Epstein, and it is worth learning about. All the stuff's worth looking into and learning about. In all honesty, guys.
That was a super good video. I didn't know anything about the Unabomber. I also didn't know the Unabomber was like an actual fucking genius. Like, he had an IQ of 167. That's an insane IQ. That's 7 points higher than Epstein. That's fucking crazy. I mean, he was like actually a genius, and he predicted pretty much majority of technological advancements and what it does to mankind. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, doing that early, they only had like the internet for like 10, 20 years at that time, and it was not as advanced even close to what it is now. And he basically predicted how much we rely on technology, what it does to people, and the mental health that will come from the advancements of technology. And they were all fucking correct, pretty much. All of his predictions were correct. That's insane. That was a super good video. No, I'm joking. W recap. I got you, bro. All right, we're gonna close YouTube. That's the end of the stream today. I'm gonna go live tomorrow again at I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing. I'm probably gonna play one of the games that Tanner just recommended to me. He just sent me. How many games did you say? Would you play Minecraft? I might start a realm. Just need people. I'm gonna ask my friend if he wants to join. I'm down to do like a central realm. I'd be down for that, and I'll just join. Would you stream or want to join a realm on Java? The horror games are like 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, no, we can definitely do like I'd be so down to do a Minecraft server. I'd rather do like a Java server than a Bedrock server, though. I'd rather do a Java server because then I can have all my texture packs and stuff like that. But if we did like a central Java server that all of us could just randomly tune into, that'd be super tough. I'd be down for that. Only Java. Yeah, only Java. I don't want to do Bedrock. But we could get like... I don't play Bedrock. That's base. Bedrock's ass. Fuck Bedrock. Yeah, I agree. We can definitely do a Minecraft server. I'd totally be down for that. But see, the thing about Minecraft servers, it's only fun if there's like 20 people in it. So we need a good amount of people in this Minecraft server if we're gonna do it. But I would be down. And I have some people that I can bring to it. Hayden doesn't play Minecraft, so he wouldn't even be on it. Also, I wasn't thinking to bring Hayden in the first place. But Ronnie would be good in the Minecraft server. I could definitely bring Ronnie. Ronnie's also super funny, so I'd be down to do some stuff with him. Yeah, there's some people that I could bring in for a Minecraft server, but I'd be down for that. We should totally do that. We can invite anyone you think would actually contribute and not blow shit up. Yeah. No, I have people that would do that. I could definitely bring some people in for this. I'd be so down. Because then, like, if I don't have, like, any stream ideas for the day, I could just hop into the Minecraft server for a few hours and just grind. So I'd totally be down for that. If we do that, though, we're not, Ender Dragon, or the end is off limits. If we do that. That has to be one of the rules. No end portals. We can't go to the end. It's not allowed. I want to see what he says to that. It's only $8 a month, so it's not expensive. Because if there's an end portal, then it creates this sense of beating the game, and then nobody wants to play it anymore. But if we don't do the Ender Dragon, the game's not finished, and it'll make people want to play more. And also, like, it's... No, I guess we could build, like, empires within the end. I think that'd be kind of fun. That could be, like, a whole project we do if we wanted. Yeah, I mean, we can if we want. We can do the Ender Dragon if we want. I just don't, like, most Minecraft servers, they don't do the end. Fairly electric. See, that's what I'm saying, too. I don't think I want people to have elytras. Because it's not as entertaining if people have elytras. There's a lot of stuff that come from the end that make the game, like, make central servers not as fun. But I think a Minecraft server would be super fun. I also think that we could have, like, there's probably going to be wars and shit. Spelling of a 10-year-old. Yeah. There's also going to be like wars and shit for sure. Like there's definitely if we do a Minecraft server, we need like a place that's like off limits. Just helps with building. Yeah, the end helps with building, but also there's too many OP items that make the game less fun. So like we should. I just want it to be like Hermitcraft. I don't know what Hermitcraft is. I'm sure it's tough. But we should have like a central area that's off limits for war, because there's going to be a war at some point. I promise there will be. The way that we play this game, there's going to be. So we should make like a central place where nobody's allowed to fight. Like it's just a place where people can hang out. That'd be tough. But I'd be down for like an actual long-term Minecraft server. We should totally do that. Yeah. But we'll figure that out. It's a whole bunch of good MC players that build cool shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if we just had, yeah, I'd have a lot of fun doing that. But we can figure out all that stuff off stream. All right, I'm going live tomorrow. We're gonna do other way around. Have an arena. Yeah. We're gonna do tomorrow. We're not gonna do any reactions. I think we're gonna do some Siege tomorrow with Hayden or Packer, depending on if they get on. And then we're also gonna do one of the games that Tanner just sent me. So we're gonna have some fun tomorrow. But yeah, that was a good stream. Tanner, you can just call me on Discord now. Because I'm ending stream right now. So you can just call me on Discord. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.